Kimi K2-09-05 is the latest model that has just dropped from China. And it's the latest model that actually has 256K token context window, 100 tokens per second, and claims to actually rival Claude Code. And so let's actually see if today's little live stream is going to actually live up to the hype. And what I'm going to go ahead and do today is actually kind of walk you through a little bit of the workflow for getting this configured. This is the latest model that's dropped and it's supposed to be as good or better than, using Claude Sonnet and so forth, according to the benchmarks. So I'm going to pop into this section here since we can kind of take a look at the screen. So this is the latest announcement from Kimi.ai. And this is supposed to actually have enhanced coding capabilities for front-end tool calling, context window for 256K token, what we talked about. Here are the benchmarks, which are really, really surprising. And I'm not going to be a benchmark bro today. And if you're here to watch like another Snake game being built or another whatever it is, like to make a Tetris game or something really fun, this is probably not your live stream. Today, we're just going to actually kind of get into like getting this set up for our Claude Code instance. And I have a really cool bash shortcut that you can set up as a function. So you can just type in Kimi instead of typing in Claude Code. We're going to grab an API key from Moonshot as well. We're also going to see if we can set it up with Klein. It's also available on Groq and some other types of providers. So whether it's in the China region or whether it's in North America region, I'm going to kind of walk you through that in the beginning of this live stream. And then if we have some time towards the end, I'm going to see if we can actually update the app and so forth. So I want this video to kind of serve as like a good getting started guide. And then later on, this is actually just a live stream. So you just go ahead and comment on, we're going to do some cool stuff with trying to like update some existing features. And as an added bonus, by the way, I got a new keyboard and we're going to see if I can actually unbox it if we have enough time towards the end. And because this is the new knob keyboard, which is super awesome. This is not sponsored. I paid almost like $600 for this keyboard. And I think we're going to see if this keyboard lives up to the hype. So yeah, if you're thinking about a different kind of knob, it's not that kind of knob, if you know what I mean. So yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can kind of start cooking with this type of stuff. So in Kimi, I want to do a quick architecture breakdown so that we can kind of understand what we're working with here. So as far as architecture and how this stuff is currently hosted, you have Kimi K2 as far as like open weights. And so those can be distributed pretty much anywhere around the world. And right now, Moonshot folks are currently hosting on their own provider, and they have an instance that's currently spun up in China. So when you go to platform.moonshot.ai/console, that's where you're able to get an API key, and that's where the weights are hosted. So if we have a Claude Code instance, that's where it's going to hit. And so for those who are aware, okay, you're sending a data to a different region. If you have data and stuff that you're working with that's actually sensitive and it's not supposed to leave, like for example, in North America, you may want to consider, what I'm talking about and consider something different like Open Router. Also, Fireworks AI has this. Together AI also has this instance. They have the weights loaded. Groq as well, they're partners and they currently have this loaded. So this is currently available there and we can hit those endpoints as well. So I'm going to show you about what those kind of look like, but I want to kind of give that primer for you to be aware of, like if you do get it from these different regions, kind of what that looks like. And then Groq API base URL kind of looks like this. I do have this available in my Discord. So for those who are in my private Discord, you have access. It's just $14.99, and you can just get access, per month to kind of join as members. The price doubles once we hit 200 members. So I really appreciate that. I have a link in the description and some other things here. So to get started, we're just going to go ahead and grab an API key from the platform.moonshot.ai. And so this is the link that we're going to go ahead and use. And I'll go ahead and see if I could just drop this into the chat, copy maybe. And we'll see if we can put that in here. This is my new setup from Hawaii, so I'm just kind of trying to figure this out. It doesn't really seem to be kind of working like I'm thinking, but it's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. And once we go into here, what that's going to go ahead and do is take us to this like platform here. Please excuse the flashbang because I don't think I have dark mode to disable here. I think they only have light mode, my bad. All right, so in order for us to do this, like once you go to this link, you can go API keys and hit create API key. And so what you're going to want to do from here to set it up in your console to work with Claude Code, what I do is actually, you can open up Cursor if you want. I have a text editor, but you want to basically go ahead and open up and play around with the ZSHRC file. So the ZSHRC file, if you have a Mac or a bash RC file, is going to be your clue to kind of get in here and kind of start to modify some of these functions. And so what you can do in here actually is whenever you load your terminal window, it's going to actually preload some of these configurations. So that way you don't have to copy and paste your API key and keep that around. You can just kind of keep it into this file. And so what you want to do is make sure you have Kimi API key and then our fancy key here, obviously. And then you want to put this function here. So this is going to be, we're going to change the Anthropic base URL to this. And then we're going to export the auth key to make sure that the auth key is being picked up. And so we're going to create this API key here, and then we're going to put it up in here. And then whenever basically we're running any options within Claude Code to resume or anything like that, we'll be able to kind of pick that up. But all we have to do is just type in Kimi. So I'll just show you really quickly. It's not going to work because I don't actually have the API key in here right now, but I just want to show you what this looks like. So if I type in Kimi, Kimi will just show up here just like this in my terminal. And it's like, hey, do you trust the files in this folder? It's like, yes, I want to go ahead and proceed because I'm just in my root folder. And so now we basically have an endpoint, and it says the API base URL now is pointing to API/moonshot/anthropic. And so that's how you know that you have it set up correctly, because it'll actually show you what the override is for that. And so I'm just going to go ahead and kind of quit this because I don't have the key in here yet. And this is something I'm going to set up right now. So I'm just going to hit create API key. And let me go ahead and see if I can set up a blur. Yeah, we got those blurs on. So that's really cool. I'm going to create the API key. So it says enter a name for this API key. I'm going to call it YOLO. Oh my God, LOL. And so the project, I'm just going to select this default, and then I'm going to blur the screen again. Please excuse me for the privacies. I don't know what the next screen is here. And of course, it's going to show me an API key. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this. And then I'm going to paste this over into the terminal. So remember how I told you in the terminal here, it's still blurred out because I don't want the API key to be exposed. I'm going to unblur it now. And so we're going to put the API key basically in here. So that's where we're going to put the API key. And of course, I'm going to blur it out. And I'm going to go ahead and hit save. And so once I save the ZSHRC file, I'm going to go ahead and close that out. And I'm also going to close out the API key here. Once I close out this window, it's not going to be available for me. So then that's pretty much gone. And then just to double check, I'm just going to unblur it here. And this is kind of what we got. So we have the new API key that's set up. And then I'm just going to open up a new terminal instance terminal here. I think I have a new terminal. I'm just going to, sometimes if I open up a new terminal, it's going to actually pop open a new window. Okay, cool. So I'm going to actually change into one of my projects. It's called Drip Me Out. And I'm just going to type in Claude, or no, not Claude. I'm typing Kimi, because Kimi is the function that we have. Now that we have Kimi set up, we should now have this type of thing here. So I think somebody's asking, Doom, is like, why Claude Code? So Claude Code is basically a harness, and the harness is the thing that's going to do all the tool calling for us. So the model itself is really, really good at tool calling. And so right now, Claude Code is like probably one of the premier tool calling like tools that people are using. But a lot of people are having problems with Claude Code because maybe the actual API endpoint is slower or slowed down. Maybe doesn't give the same performance as it did at the very beginning. So if we already have a good tool calling harness and people are already used to it because they already have their Claude rules and all these different conventions, why not leverage that, right? So I think this is going to be like a really nice, easy way to do that. And so, you know, like it was pretty fast to set up, as you can see. And another thing too, it's like you can also manage a context window. It's pretty much like having a Claude Sonnet version inside of your Claude Code instance, which I find pretty fire. So yeah, I prefer Hawaii stream times. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm a whole different side of the world. That's why Claude Code is the best harness. Open Code is 80% of the way there. Yeah, we're going to take a look at some things because I'm also going to show you how we set this up with OpenAI's new Codex thing, or not Codex, OpenAI's new CLI. There's a profile config from there, and I'm going to walk you through that as well. This is going to be a really awesome stream. So it's just all vibes. Are you coding a micro SaaS? Yes, indie hacking type of stuff for sure. Yeah, I have a micro SaaS, and I'm going to show you a little bit about that. So now that we have the Anthropic key, can you just tell me where we are at with my project? And so this should do the query, and it should basically find the documentation that's in there to tell me kind of what's going on, because I have some rules and I'll kind of fill you in on that a little bit. I'm just kind of curious to see if this is even going to work and see what the tokens per second and speed is. I am hitting the endpoints on Moonshot's server, so I really don't know what that performance is going to be like, and it'll be really interesting to see, you know, how the rest of it plays out. And even if we can set up the Groq version, because there is a Groq version that's available, and it'd be really interesting if we could just kind of set that up through Claude Code. I don't know if they actually allow that, because You know, these are different configurations, but we're going to try to find out. This is kind of why I'm doing this live stream together. So big shout out to people who have been joining. Max, hello. Bartosz Vids. Also the folks over on X who are reposting the stream. You guys are the real MVPs. Yeah, amazing setup. Thank you so much, man. This is, I'm trying to keep the fire going. So you mean Kimi K2-01? I think they're calling the model Kimi K2-09-05. I don't know, like these versions, people got all these different types of names and stuff. So yeah, we'll see what's up. So yeah, try Groq. Yeah, I think this is what we're going to go ahead and do because like it's taking forever to do this from the endpoint. Oh man, that sucks. Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to try Groq for sure. So, well, I can show you right now. So in Groq, if you go to console.groq.com, I'm going to put this in the actual, the chat here so you can see it and pull it up. I think if you're on X, you may not be able to see this URL, but basically this is the console.groq.com link down below. And this is kind of be that there. So when you select the drop down, you can just type in like in the search models, Kimi K2-instruct-05. So this is basically what they do. So the current limit they have for me is 1K requests per minute and then 500,000 K per day for the limit there. So as far as like system prompt, I could just say, let me cook, submit. Let's just see. It should be pretty fire. Chef's kiss, you already cleared the kitchen. What's on the menu? God, this is so fast. All right, all right. So as far as studio, I think this is kind of what they're looking at here. View code. All right, cool. So yeah. Awesome. Yeah, so that's this. You can. So it looks like we have the stream. We have MCP servers. What's the completion tokens? 16K. What are the parameters can we mess around with here with this model for this type of thing? So, okay, I think that's pretty much that they'll have there. So, all right, cool. So we can set up our own system messages. All right, I'm just kind of curious to see what's going on here. Let's go ahead and take a look and see what's going on. So yeah, the API from Moonshot, because I'm here in Hawaii, technically, I guess I'm closer to China. It's still taking quite a bit of time for it to do its type of task, which I'm a little bit surprised, but it does and it doesn't surprise me. While that's going, I'm going to open up a new instance. I'm going to do main.csh-rc. So I might have to blur out the screen or just go back to like the bigger window here. And so what I'm going to go ahead and do is try to make sure I don't leak my API key. So that way we can still do more streams. So main.csh-rc. Yeah, I'm basically kind of doing this type of thing here. So yeah, I think what I could do is probably just change the base URL for Kimi to Groq and see what happens there. And I don't know. I think that could be really, really interesting a way of doing something. So I don't know. I actually haven't tried it. I have no clue if it works, but it'd be really cool. I'm really, really curious to see how that will work. So what I might do here is the following, kind of push it back here. So what I have here is the actual stuff. And then can I make a plus? Yes. Okay, cool. So yeah. All right. So damn, it's slow. Oh, this is so painful. Okay. Ooh, yeah. All right. So there's other ways to access this, by the way. So we're just going to go ahead and go to the web in Safari. I'm going to change a couple different things. Let's see. So Kimi.com has a website. So this is going to actually show us kind of what's in here. And we can actually try it through their actual like chat interface. Okay. And because I'm more interested in setting it up for like the agentic coding stuff. This is the folks over at Groq, and they said that they're really excited to partner with them. So their tokens speed is like 549 tokens per second. Latency is like pretty much crushed there. And then as far as, yeah, this is the pricing that they're actually landing on with Groq. So with this, they're basically charging $1.50 per million tokens and 256K context window. Okay, cool. That's very reasonable. Let's take a look at their model card and see what else they say here. So this is, by the way, I mean, this is a live stream, so I'm going through it live with you right now and just kind of learning more about this just to make sure I'm kind of caught up here. So let's see, the largest context window of any model, prompt caching up to 50%. When paired, okay, leading price to performance. So $1.50 million, so $1 per input and then 3 output. So, oh, they call it a blended price. Okay. So yeah, this is supposedly like what's supposed to do, which would be really cool. And I definitely want to get this going. So while that's going there, I'm going to go see if I can get this set up in Klein. And so in Klein, I think I have it here, right? Klein? No. I don't have it set up. Okay, so I'm going to go to the plugins. So explore, maybe, whoops. Search, let the extensions, Klein. And so I'm going to just make sure I put myself over here. All right. Hi. So I do have Klein installed. Yay. Okay. So let me go ahead and enable this. And now that I have Klein was updated. Okay. So now they actually have try Groq code 1 fast. Okay. Cool. So what I want to do is go to the settings and then go from API provider, change this to Groq. Just say Groq, G-R-O-Q. Because we should see the speed up in here. This would be ridiculous. I'm gonna show you the app too that I'm working on. What the cooks fire. Okay, so now in the Moonshot, we're gonna actually select this guy here. So this one's called Moonshot Kimi K2-09-05. Kimi K2 Moonshot 0905. Make sure you select that one, not the other one below. So that's the latest one. And it does not support images and looks like it does not support browser use, but it does support prompt caching, which is really cool. And then obviously they're giving us the price for the caching as well. All right, so now we just need a Groq API key. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that real quick. Yo, Mr. Frank, what's going on, man? He's my longest subscribed member and he's like, yes, late night streaming. Oh wait, this is a Hawaii live stream for sure, man. This is what we're doing, man. This is like Hawaii, we're out here. It is currently 9:50, so I mean, it's not really that late. If you're crack developers, y'all are up right now. What CLI have you found yourself using the most? Right now, basically Claude Code. And then lately it's just been kind of Codex and Cursor itself. I love Cursor as far as like the interface, and it's like Cursor is so freaking fast. But I've been using a lot of Claude Code for planning and so forth. So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can get a quick API key from the Groq folks here. So that'll be a really great way to test it. So if I go to API keys, I'm gonna try to blur it out so for privacy, or maybe I'll just kind of show you like my camera here so we can just kind of hang out. And so as of right now, I'm basically just trying to get the API key real fast so that we can kind of move along here. So I'll create API key and call it Kimi K2-09-05 LOL. Okay. It's just like these keys and these names and stuff. The naming models was really funny. All right, create API copy, and I'm going to go ahead and paste it over here. And then I'm going to go back to the browser to make sure I'm done and get rid of that there. And then I think we'll be Gucci fam. So let's see what's up. All right. So I have the API key up in here. Are we ready for this? I don't think I'm ready for this. This is about to be ridiculous. Okay. Okay. So as of now, I'm going to show you the project real quick. So this project is basically called, this is from Ross Mickey. And we're going to allow. Okay. And so what it does is you can take a photo of yourself and it adds a really fire chain. So like you can like, so literally you just upload a photo of yourself. Like if I go to camera settings, I can say Osmo Pocket and I say start camera. So this is the camera right here that's currently live. Not this one, it's this one here. And so we're going to go ahead and say capture photo. And then as of now, basically kicks off a background process on Convex. And it should then come up here when the image is generated. And I may even have some bugs, but we can fix them. Hey, look at that. And then this is using the latest Nano Banana model. So what's really cool here is I want to do something really, really cool. And I want to see how good Klein is with Groq and see the speed of this model and like watch us cook really, really fast. So I want to show you something really cool that I've been working on that I want to like, basically you're seeing here first right now. And I think it's going to be really fun to add. So the feature that I've been working on is, let me just kind of pull this up here. So in AI Studio, what I found out is Matt Wolf actually posted this awesome video called 50 plus insane ways to use Nano Banana for free. And so he had this lady that made this kind of surreal looking like image. So it took a real photo of the ramen and then just added this cool cartoon effect to it. So the problem is that you have to give it a very specific prompt and what specific items you want to turn to cartoon. But if you know your boy, Ray Fernando, I'm already with it on the prompts. So I've generated my own custom prompts to pick out these images at random or specific things and add these different types of effects to it. So that way a user can upload any images. I'm already thinking about what kind of app I want. So this is kind of what it did for my friend. It basically transformed a normal image of him over here hanging out like with these umbrellas and stuff. And then you can even see the model thinking, and it's like, hey, I think the umbrellas would be a really cool like surreal effect. And so it basically did it and does this cool like hand drawing and stuff. So it's a pretty fun effect. And what I want to go ahead and do is try to see if I can incorporate that. So instead of a chain, I want to see if I can throw this prompt into this model and then see if it can actually, you know, when I do like this or whatever, it's going to have something really fun. Or if I have my little cup in the photograph, just like this, and be like, and then see if it can actually animate the cup or something really interesting that the model would think. And it's like, you know, not me. So that way it kind of makes it more surreal. And so, of course, I got the prompts and I got the app running right now. And then I'm going to move my head so that I kind of get out of the way here. And I'm going to put it over here for those who are wondering. So yeah, for those who are wondering, this is kind of where it's at in Klein. And so, all right, so I have Klein set up. I currently in plan mode, I currently have Groq enabled. And so I think what I want to go ahead and do is go to the system prompt. So I think it says in this file here in generate, this is where I'm calling the function on Claude's cloud. And then it's basically passing in this type of thing here. So this is the text that I'm currently using. And then I'm going to just go back to my prompt that I'm using over here in Google Gemini. I think I had Claude fix it up. So this is the actual prompt that I'm using here. And what I'm going to go ahead and do is try to like unplug my camera and plug it back in. So that way we can kind of get this thing all set up correctly. And then you can see the correct aspect ratio of my face. But yeah, please don't mind me while I set up this camera thing. Of course, it does this for the live. All right, cool. Appreciate everyone's patience right now. All right, we're going to be cooking. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Going over here and come over here. Okay, so what I want to go ahead and do is update this prompt. And I think it should be here, but I'm going to make sure, because I have this funny formatting, I want to make sure Klein kind of fixes it up here. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is select this. I'm going to say quick edit. Okay. I want to update the system text for this generate image internal action. And right now the text says add a bus down diamond chain. I want it to actually be these instructions. And then, okay. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is going to like say, just kind of give these dashes. Yeah. Okay, cool. And it should be in Markdown. So, and then I think, okay, let's just see if it can figure it out in plan. And so this is me giving it to Groq with the latest Kimi K2 thing. And we should basically watch it fly. I'm really curious to see how this is going to go. So to replace the file is not available in plan mode. Okay, so it was already trying to write the file in the code here. So look through and it basically has used already 28,000, 30,000 tokens. Damn, this thing eats tokens like crazy. So it did find the current line and it's now found this type of thing. Replace the line with the new markdown instructions. Cool. That's awesome. That looks really, really good. And so proceed as update, go to act mode. And so that cost me super cheap. Holy smokes. That's actually really nice. Wow. It's like 0.005 cents. That's crazy. Wow. So basically almost free. It's like not even a penny. This is crazy. Okay. All right. So I'm going to say go to act mode. And I'm going to say resume task maybe. Because I know it couldn't. Let's go. Let's go. Bro, this is crazy fast. Oh my God. Okay, save. Yeah, this looks like it did the text correctly. By the way, this is only task number 1. And so task number 2, I'm going to give it is something like a design task, but that's going to be coming up next. So make sure you stay tuned because we're about to get crazy with this designs because this is only the first part. Once we get this working and then adding the designs in, apparently, for those who don't know, the Moonshot, like this latest update is supposed to be really good at design. So I'm going to give it some of these design tasks. I like how fast Groq is, especially using it with Klein in here over the API. And you saw that request, to change those files and to look through those things. It absorbs 34,000 tokens. And, you would have already burned through like 30 cents or 40 cents with Claude Code. But here it's literally 0 cents, 0, like it's half of a cent. It's kind of insane how, I don't know. This is really going to be crazy is how fast it's going to change the game. Okay. So now that we have the new prompt here, it's already shipped the function to Groq. And I think I'm going to say start a new task. So I'm going to make sure that this is all here. I'm going to just take a look at the diff real quick. The diff looks pretty good. I'm going to just stage it just in case something happens. And then let's just go back to our app and make sure that we're good here. So if we go back to drip me out, I'm going to just refresh the page. I'm going to go ahead and hit allow. And then for camera settings, what I'm going to go ahead and do instead of Osmo Pocket, I'm going to just do my FaceTime HD camera and go ahead and start the camera now. And then I'm going to unplug this other camera for now and then plug it back in again like I did. Okay, cool. So now that I have the FaceTime HD camera, which I'm basically just looking straight ahead, I'm going to go ahead and capture a photo. And then I'm going to capture a photo with my drink or something like this. So it'd be kind of fun. So let me just make sure my camera thing's here and go ahead and capture photo. Okay, so that looks pretty good. It looks like the image has started. So I'm really curious to see if it does the work that we're trying to accomplish here. And it'd be really interesting to see, you know, if it does take that new thing into consideration. If it does, like, we got a full-fledged app. And then I'm basically going to rebrand this app. What I've done already so far is basically, oh, that's crazy. Wow, it even has that Hawaiian Islands on. Dang, Nano Banana's fire. Wow. Okay, this is really, really cool. So what I designed here was I did a copy share link. And so I have not deployed this app to production, but what I want to do is I want to create a viral app. And in this viral app, as you can see right now, when it's trying to load the image from Codex, it's taking forever. There's a bug here and it needs to be fixed. Oh, here we go. Okay, cool. So the aspect ratio is kind of off because if you go in here, like we can kind of preview the image, but when I go in here, it just kind of keeps this type of size here. So what I can do is maybe the problem, I guess, with Klein is the fact that it doesn't actually upload images. So you can't put images into Klein with this Groq model. So it's not Klein, sorry. The problem with the Groq Kimi Moonshot model 0905 is, let me say that again. the Kimi Moonshot 09, Kimi Moonshot K2-0905 inside of Groq does not support the images or the web browsing stuff. And so ideally, I would just kind of, you know, if I was using Claude Code, I would just grab the screenshot and say, this is my problem. So that's kind of a little caveat here. We probably just have to describe it in plain English. But it's pretty cool that it's able to like take a look at my Nano Banana prompt and do this. So I basically halfway through my app. And so I'm going to just tell it about this bug and see if it can fix it and be really curious here. So I want to test the capabilities of like its agentic form and see how good Moonshot is at, you know, like doing some more agentic work, because this is just the first request, right? So what I'm going to go ahead and do is start a new task, and I'm going to go back into plan mode. I'm going to say, as soon as we generate an image successfully and we hit the share URL, when a user goes to the share link, it looks like the aspect ratio for the image is not the same. It seems to be cropped and not show the full image. See if you can actually find where that's broken and help me fix that. And so this is now going to send that off. And then we're going to see it's got 262,000 tokens. This thing moves so fast. It's so ridiculous. Groq is insane how fast it moves. Oh my goodness. And look at the cache it's already used. Wow. Oh, because it's already read files. So that's really, really interesting. I love seeing this, by the way. So we can actually see that it's read other files before, and that goes into the cache. And so you don't get hit for that cost, which is super important, by the way. So like if you're working on files, just like the way we're vibe coding right now, is that fact that you're going to hit these caches, like you're going to read these same files and it doesn't count against you. That is brilliant. That is really, really cool. I love that Klein has done that. And so, okay, what do we got so far? It's come up with a whole, I can't believe how fast this is. This is nuts. This is so nuts. I'm so hyped. All right, let's go. So let's see. The problem is in app share, the image is displayed, and then its aspect square class forces a square aspect ratio. So this is a solution to object fit contain. Okay, the spec looks pretty good. I need to modify the share the client component. And so one last thing before we plan act. Oh, okay. So I just gonna go ahead and it's just gonna go fix it. YOLO. Okay, where is it going? I want to edit this file. Oh, I have to. Do I have to accept? Save? Okay. Oh, it wants me to review the changes and save them. Okay, got it. Right. This is ridiculously fast. I use Claude Code. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, if it's this cheap, like we're going to look at that. It costs 0.0068 cents, bro. Not even a penny. And it did use caching, bro. Groq. Y'all cooking out here, bro. This is crazy. Oh my God. I might just try Groq inside Klein, bro. That's what I'm saying right now. I think this is this is so, bro, we haven't even spent like, we barely broke one or two pennies right here. Oh, we GPU rich, bro. This is this is absolutely bonkers. Absolutely. Bro, can you see how fast we're going with this? I thought bro, we have Claude Code. Claude Code is dead, bro. Claude Code is dead. Dead, bro. Oh my God, bro. This is ridiculous. This is absolutely ridiculous, man. Okay. But I'm just getting started, by the way. I'm super hyped right now. I get really excited, by the way. I get really excited when I see really good stuff, but let's just see how promising this is. I'm not going to make any promises right now, but you can tell how excited I am. This is so crazy. Okay, save. Let's go. Okay. I'm just so fascinated by the speed, bro. Look at the speed. I feel like I'm in the Matrix right now. Oh my gosh. Oh, it even fixed some other issues too. Okay. So it's talking about max width 80. Okay. And it's talking about this type of thing here. Okay. Why did you do that? So the issue is replace operations aren't because of the file contents being auto formatted. Let me use the right to, okay, save. Cool. So it's going through and just modifying a whole bunch of files. Dang. Okay, save. Bro, this thing just flies, bro. Absolutely crazy. Tons of changes. Okay, now when we access the share URL, they'll see the full image in its original aspect ratio, preserved with just the link in the modal, and then the image will scale to fit the viewport. Okay, so then now technically if I go back to this app, there we go, it's fixed. So let me just kind of get out of the way. Yeah, so it basically already fixed it. Dang, that's crazy. So if I go back here, this is the actual like app here. Let me just kind of put my head back over here. All right. So here's the app. And then if we go into here, now I have like the gallery view, and then I pop into this view. Oh, that's cool. Wow. And then if I copy the share link and then somebody opens it like on their phone, then they should be able to see like this image. Dude, that's so crazy. Wow. Okay. So now what I want to do is, like, I want to see if I can do like a design task, because I think Kimi Moonshot is supposed to be really good at design. And I think it would be really cool if we can actually update our own design system here. So because we're using ShadCN and everything's kind of composable through like all these different like Tailwind v4 and all these like ShadCN blocks, we should be able to go through all these different files, because we are seeing this thing fly so fast. So the advantage of something like this that's really fast and really cheap is you can just try these ideas without spending lots of time writing spec docs. And then like, we'll just try different things. So you can try different stuff in your UI. If you don't like it, just throw it away. It doesn't even cost you that much. God, bro, this is so crazy. Okay, let's go. Let me check in this change, bro. These changes are fire right now. Okay, let me hit plus on the changes. Let me hit this little thing up here. So with cursor, is there a merge conflict? I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. No, I think we're good. Cool. So yeah, let me commit this. This is fire. Okay, cool. Uno Comma Club with Kimi, bro. It's like, how much can you spend for like $1? You know, is it a thinking model? I don't think it's a thinking model. It's called like it's a sparse. No, it's not a dense model. It's a sparse model. And then I think what they do is, I think there's 8 different channels which they send your request through. And then the mixture of experts is the one that's kind of activated for that specific token. And it's a little bit different behavior, but they've got it basically to work as good as some of the thinking models. And that's just the other thing too, I think, from what I understand from the stuff that I've read so far, is that it's supposed to be really good at like this specific 0905 version, which is Kimi K2. People are calling it K2v1, Kimi K2.1 or something like that. I'm just calling it Kimi K2-0905, which is September 5th. This one is supposed to be really good at following instructions from agents. So as we see here, every one of those steps, it just kind of knows what to do, kind of the next thing. And so we're just so used to seeing reasoning traces in our stuff. Like, I'm just taking a look at the outputs and seeing how good it can do things. So in this next task, right, we fixed a small bug, which is like, here's a markdown file, here's a very specific thing, can you do that? And then the second thing that we fixed is like a real bug, which is saying, hey, here's an aspect ratio bug. I don't know exactly where that is to fix it in the UI, you know, go figure it out. And he was able to do that tool calling to get there to figure it out and fix it. And then we saw subsequent, fixes and follow-ups with that, which I thought was really impressive. So now the bigger task here is like, can you do a design task? But the design task is going to be a little bit vague. We can't upload images or search stuff on the web. So can we give it enough information to see how good it's going to do? And right now I'm using Klein because it's so freaking fast with Groq. And so Groq is going to, there's a blended price of basically $1.50 per million tokens. And so that's what we're going to go ahead and do. Obviously, the caching here is a key part of this whole thing with Klein, because when it's reading those files in our code, it's not charging us again to read those files, if you know what I mean. So that's a really big pro move from them as well. So looks like the real deal so far, bro. Yeah, I mean, I'm telling, sheesh, bro. Okay. Let's go ahead and see if we can, I think there is like a linting error here, right? So there is, it's a apostrophe thing, quick fix. Yep, okay, cool. That was the issue. It's probably gonna fail to build if it doesn't have that fix in here. Okay, cool. All right, so the other thing that we're gonna go ahead and do with Klein is go back over here to Klein. Okay, so now that we have Klein set up, we're gonna go ahead and start a new task. And then I'm gonna move what I'll do is keep my head here, but I'm gonna make cursor a little bit smaller to the side so that way you can kind of see what's cooking with me. All right. So, and then let me move my thing here. This is my new setup. I need another display. So I don't have another display with me right now. So I'm just literally just using my one laptop display, which is kind of hard right now, but whatever, we'll get this figured out. All right, cool fam. Let's see how many folks we got in the stream right now. Yeah, we were cooking. Groq doesn't work with Claude Code. It doesn't? Oh, they don't have the harness set up for it. Damn, yeah, I haven't tried that yet. So that'd be really interesting. So what I want to go ahead and do is I just want to verify that we have the ShadCN design system here. So if I go to components, we should be able to see the UI. Yeah, we have all the card carousel and everything like that. Okay. And then as far as like Tailwind stuff, I'm just going to double check my packages just to make sure Tailwind V4. Yeah, we have Tailwind V4. Okay. We got all the good pieces that we need to do. So what I want to go ahead and do is go back over to generate. And so I want it to give it the instructions in this area to follow the vibe of the same type of things we're going to output. So you'll see this. It's going to be a pretty funny prompt, but I really don't know. And we'll see. This is kind of part of the YOLO part, right? So I'm going to go back to plan and I'm just going to go to hear me out. Okay. Let's see. What is this thing called? We have a really large, big task to redesign the UI, and all of the UI components are done with ShadCN UI, and we're also using Tailwind V4 CSS. And so you'll have to look for the root files and the different conventions and token systems that we're using for this design system. And the design that we need to update to is to kind of follow along with the vibe and things in the instructions that you see for how we generate our images. We kind of want it to match the same vibe and style. So like, for example, here it says bold black outlines with hard drawn wobbles, vibrant anime colors, dramatically exaggerated portions, and you get the picture. So I'm going to go ahead and paste the system instructions that we have for how we generate the images, so you can kind of get a feel for what this looks like. And that way you can help redesign all of our UI components. And then you're also going to have to take a look and let me know all the different components that are involved, because this is a whole design system from ShadCN UI. And that we want our UI system to feel almost like it's matching the same experience that we are using for generating images. That's a really long ass prompt, but I think this will work. Okay, cool. So this is a really long prompt. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is like give it this constants thing here. And then I think we should be good. So I'm going to go ahead and let it plan mode. So this is going to be a really good test of Groq, because there's a lot of different instructions. And then I want to see how good Kimi K2 is at like instruction following. We're already using 190, like 30. There's so much stuff that's been cached with all these files. It's really interesting. And look at the context window, 262, and we've only used like 40K context. It's amazing how it's touching all these different files. And so this is touching a lot of different files all over the system, right? We're basically following this like in system instructions. We're going to see it kind of do, this is crazy fast, by the way. Holy smokes. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Dang. I'm going to minimize this so we can actually read the plan. So this is a current UI system analysis. I don't know about you, but it's crazy how fast this model is and how it can go through these files. Like I'm just so used to waiting for GPT-5. I'm so used to waiting for Claude Opus to like do all the things that I would literally have to do other things like go to the beach and come back just so I can code and like, okay, the plan's ready. Let's go ahead and kick off the thing. This is so fast. It's like, I'm just cracked. I'm cracked. I'm absolutely cracked right now. So it looks like for the current, it actually found the core UI components, which is in that folder, right? And then there's some custom ones too, and there's some styling. This is really good. Okay, so here's the design system requirements for the AI generation, and here's a whole redesign strategy. So here's the color system overhaul. So it's gonna actually do like that type of thing there with like these neutral grays, vibrant anime colors, component transformations. Are y'all ready for this? Is the chat ready for this? I don't think you guys are ready for this. Y'all are sleeping right now because it's only 10 o'clock here in Hawaii. And I don't know where you're at in the world, but like this is about to be redonkulous. Let's go. So typography icons, it's talking about the implementation plan and it has the different phases. So here's what's interesting, right? Because it's not like a reasoning type of model, it's going to go through and it's because it's an agent. Let's just go ahead and start cooking, fam. So if you'd like to act, just turn it to act mode and it's just Command Shift A. So if I just do that, yo, okay, cool. This is nice. So I'm just going to let it rip. Oh, look at how it's updating all the Tailwind CSS stuff. That's crazy. And we should be able to watch this basically in real time, right? As it's updating the various stuff. And so that's going to be fire. This is crazy. Yeah, I might have to restart the server because it's going to be like, yo, I just changed a whole bunch of things. And look at what it's doing. Familia. Let's go. Okay, now we're just going to watch it just update all the code. And look at what it's actually making new CSS classes for like anime hand-drawn stuff. And this is going to get really creative here. Whoa. Okay, watch. We're not even done yet, bro. Like, let's just keep letting it do its thing. Okay, so let's see if there's any more. I'm going to keep following this here. Oh, okay, we'll hit save. I'm just going to save everything, bro. Is there like a save all the time? Auto approve edits? Maybe I have to check mark this. Yeah, I think that's what I have to do. So now we're going to start cooking. Oh my gosh. This is crazy. Oh, look at this thing at the bottom. Bro. Okay, so now we have like, oh my God, bro. I'm not even ready. This is crazy. Let's go. Do you ever switch to npm run all and get tired of launching? No, I don't think so. Yo, Sharik. By the way, Roo Code over Klein. It has a lot more features. Okay, yeah, I'll have to check out Roo Code for sure. Damn, why is he up so late? No, bro, it's only like 10 o'clock here in Hawaii, bro. Like, that's what's up. If they decide they're adding this, of course, but blasting through this stuff at 500 plus tokens a second would just be amazing. I want Groq to be inside of, what are we, can you see the background of our app? Bro. This is crazy right now. Let me just kind of get rid of my head. Like, this is being updated in real time. I can't, this is, bro. This is crazy. This is such a vibe right now. Like, I didn't realize you can literally vibe code this. Like, bro, this is the power of a design system. We're literally watching all the files being updated like in real time right now. This is crazy. Sheesh. Yeah. Oh my God. What to choose every day for, bro, you have to use this model. Like, period. Oh my goodness, bro. Like, we are cooking. Look at this, bro. Oh my God, bro. This is too much. It's like low key too much. It's so extra right now. But this is such a vibe though. Like, tell me this. Okay. I don't know if you know about this in viral marketing, like Roy and all those folks who are like Gen Z, like, we'll make silly stuff like this just to get attention. And if you make a TikTok video saying, hey, check out this cool app I just vibe coded. And what it does is basically you just take a picture and it kind of cartoonizes like some random thing. I think you should try it. And like, you know, just put that on TikTok. If it goes viral, then I'll have like 10K a month app. Easy, right? Like, it's already done. Dang, this is crazy. And so like, let's see where we're at. So it's still doing the tasks and look how much tokens we've eaten up. 73,000 tokens for the context window And I love watching this. It's already cached almost 1 million tokens. This is nuts. And we've only used to date only 2 pennies, bro. I don't know about you. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. Oh, let's go ahead and run the command. I don't know why it wants to open up a new, I think it wants me to double check that like everything's running on this. Yeah. So like allow. This is crazy. Oh my God, bro. Like this is absolutely insane. Like it really cooks super hard, like a little too hard for me. Like this is yo guys, check out my AI generated diamond chain photo at localhost. I'm just gonna post this so y'all can hit my localhost. Bro, this is crazy. This is absolutely insane. Wow. Oh my God, bro. RAM check. Yeah, might be 0 comma club, bro. Like I've yet to spend like $1 on this whole API. Groq Code is fast and super cheap. Yeah, the potential tie with this one, bro. Made AI MySpace back to the year 2000. Yeah, this is max vibes, bro. Like these animations are bonkers. And this is all ShadCN, right? Like this is how you can like vibe design by just telling it to just kind of cook. So what I can do is just kind of say, can you just calm down the designs? And with this one, so, what I wanted to do is, okay, so I have this, I want to tell you some sauce real quick. I have made this way so that you can actually keep track of your features and things. So I have this documentation folder here, and I have a features folder. And in the features folder, I can tell you what's currently active in my actual apps. So when I was using Claude Code, I would have to make this file so that whenever the agents are working, they would write together like what they're specifically working on. Phase 1, phase 2, and all these different plans, right? And when they're not done yet, I have an actual spec for that keeps, this is the one that keeps track of the progress. And the spec is the actual one that defines our task. So that's basically what I was doing before. And whenever they're completed, the AI agents will actually move those plans down into the completed section. And so what I wanted to do now is like, let's just go ahead and see if we can create one for what we've done so far so we can keep track of the progress. And so I'm going to go ahead and go back to Klein. I'm going to go ahead and prompt that so we can start the new task. So what I want you to do is we forgot to write a spec doc and follow the guidelines in our, and then type in documentation. Documentation readme, I think, in our, and then I don't think it's front end document docs documentation. Okay, and I'm gonna say okay, cool. So what I'm gonna having it do now basically is just kind of write out, bro. This is so fast. Oh my God, this is too fast, bro. I can't keep up right this. This is sheesh, bro. Okay. Oh my gosh. The speed at which that you can ship everything is, it's over, bro. It's over. It's so over right now. Oh, look at this. I have a whole spec doc and progress, and it read the whole instruction sets for me. And it actually kind of generated the whole plan. Dang, bro. I'm going to say proceed. Okay, so Klein wants to create a new file. So yeah, go ahead and proceed. So it's basically creating the whole, like everything that we did in this whole chat. And then it wants to edit this file for CloudMD. Wow. Oh my goodness. So, wow. It's even editing the CloudMD files for Claude like that. It's like, hey Claude, I know you're gonna play nice, and I want to make sure that those files are updated for you. It's like a really good student, you know? That's so crazy. Please don't mind me as I'm fixing my camera. We're gonna just kind of watch this thing here. Wow, this is crazy. This is why I was confused. Everyone went nuts over Claude Code CLI. I'll fall asleep. Too fast, too Kimi, bro. Dude, this too fast for TV, bro. Yeah, this is absolutely sheesh, man. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna say reject. I don't think we need to run the API thing because this is already working. Wow. Okay, so what we've done so far is we've like updated all of these files, and we also have the documentation on like the redesign and everything like that. This is sweet. So Yeah, so we have an anime redesign spec. This is basically what I told it I wanted to do. So it basically wrote out the spec file for me and it completed all 4 phases. And it chose like the color palette as well, because this is what I'm going to go ahead and do to fix the actual bug. I'm going to say, hey, this spec that we just implemented is a little too crazy. Can we just kind of tone this down and rewrite a new spec? And so this is kind of why I wanted to do this. And so this is the actual progress report and it's basically all completed. I mean, you saw it just in like one shot. Like, I can't believe how you just one shot these things and it's just so fire for doing this. I'm going to hit the little plus sign to stage all these changes. And I'm just, wow, I'm blown away. I'm so blown away. So we had like 13 steps that we did and look at all these steps that we did in Klein. And then we also used 89,700K tokens for the context windows. So we still have quite a bit to go and we cache 1.2 million tokens. So that's all the files that tool calls and different things that it did. All of that was cached. And so let's just see how much this actually cost us, because I'm really curious to see like what these types of tasks cost. So it says we've only spent 3 cents, bro. 3 cents, like almost not even 4 cents. This is crazy. We've only spent 3 cents for all of that. Bro, yo, okay, drop it in the chat. Do you think Claude Code is cooked? Do you think GPT-5 is cooked? Would you use this over GPT-5? Like, I'm just really curious right now. I'm really curious because this is just like a hot take right now. This is, sheesh. Oh my gosh. All right, let's be real. If it can't be better than Claude Code or Codex CLI for serious web development. I don't know about you, man. Like, what is serious to you? And I want you to try it out. I think that's the whole point. Like, we need to try these tools out because like I'm so tired of watching like 50 YouTube videos of everyone running the same benchmark. And I don't know if you know about benchmarks and all these people, they've collected all your benchmarks already. And they're basically running the same benchmarks that you've already ran. And they want to make sure that they hit the certain numbers before they push their models out, right? So the only way to test it is by you using your real development workflow for whatever is real for you. And then, you know, I turn my live streams on live because like my workflow changes. My whole agentic workflow changes. I made up this new documentation spec that I started writing out, right? That's all because there was limitations in these AI models that only get me so far with this in most intelligence models, right? Claude Code is the most intelligent with Opus and all these things. They don't write the documentation in the way that I want it in this little documentation system. I'm using my experience as an engineer. I used to be an engineer at Apple for 12 years. It's like, I just want these little basic things so that if I have 2 agents working on on these code changes, they at least can read in with each other and figure out what they're working on and then like not intercept each other, right? So like everyone's workflow is different. Everyone's tech stack is different. And I encourage you to go play with these models and do your workflows with them. See if they actually improve, right? And like, I try to use the Moonshot API inside of Claude Code because the Moonshot API is so far away, like it just takes a very long time and that's not feasible for me. And then so like, let's just pull up Groq. Groq is currently available. It's inside of Klein. This thing is beast mode, like ridiculous beast mode for me. So like, this is for sure going to be something that I'm going to be cooking with. So Nick says GPT-5. Any thoughts on Augie? Right now, I'm cooking, bro. Too early to judge. Bro, first take, hot, you know? Coming out the press hot. Like they came out swinging, bro. If it came out like super like wonky, it's like, it's too low. Like, okay, I tried to set up Klein Code the first day. That was like a big L. I couldn't even start the stream because I couldn't even get an API key and all that stuff was just so horrible. So yeah, let's see what's up. Let's see what's going on here. So, all right. So what we've done so far is kind of updated our design system. And yeah, so that thing before 4 cents. Okay. So all of the tasks up here, it says, no, we spent 42 cents. Okay. For all of our tasks combined, by the way, my bad. So I misquoted here. So we've spent under 50 cents. So all of these tool calls and everything for all of the tasks that we just did for this, redesign of the UI cost 42 cents. So that's what it was. And that recent tool call that I did, it was the one that only cost like 0.3 cents or 3 cents or something like that. So that's interesting. So yeah, I just saw this up here and it says this is kind of what all of the tasks kind of equated to. as far as the cost. So what that meant is that we had 89,000 tokens in the context window, 1.2 cached because we read all those files earlier, not earlier in this specific chat. And then these were the tokens for the input. And then these were the 18K tokens for the completions, which came back down. So we basically spent more sending tokens that way than it actually did writing code for us, which is kind of why it's actually really nice. And so since we still have some room left in this context window and it knows about this type of plan, I want to just tell it a little bit, see if we can kind of tune it back a little bit. Can we tune back this UI change? Because it's extremely aggressive with a lot of animations and moving parts. And it's a little too much for most people because it's just even hard to make out some of the texts. Let's see if I can do this. And I'm going to go back to plan mode. And I'm just going to let Groq with Klein do its little thing here. So I'm going to minimize this task and see what it says. Scroll down. It's did it get our request? Okay. It's so fast. It's so fast. I can't even believe what it's doing. It's like, I understand the anime redesign is created too aggressive. Revise subtle aesthetic, too many simulations, wobble. Okay. So now it's come up with the new implementation strategy, and then we can go ahead and, can you make sure you update the documentation before we act on this? And did it? Oh, absolutely. Let me first update the documentation to reflect the new approach. So now it's updating the documentation as we kind of see up above. This is crazy fast. I can't get over the speed. The speed is crazy because let's just say it doesn't replace Claude Code for you, right? Like for me, what if it doesn't replace Claude Code, but what if I just use this to prototype new ideas, right? I want to throw something on the board for 5 minutes. This is crazy as far as a tool to just be able to do that. And like that whole session to have like, what if I just have it complete redesign with ShadCN in my whole system? You saw how many files it touched? Less than 50 cents. Less than 50 cents to do all that stuff. That's ridiculous. So that's interesting, you know, as far as like what that could be, how we can use this. So, wow. Yeah. So now it's just updating all of our different like systems here. And this is too much. This is too much. Let's see. Allow. Okay. This is wild. Oh, every time I do this type of thing, it kind of messes with my camera. Okay. Yeah. Speed and cost is definitely huge. It's massive, man. This is so massive. Yeah. Whoa. It's very fast, but the reason why it's so fast is likely because the first 2 to 5 days after FOMO. No, this is Groq. If you're not familiar with Groq, man, Groq is like cooking. Groq is beast mode for these models, and they've always been fast as far as like their tokens. And what actually may surprise you is the fact that it's actually going to get faster. I think they may even have like a spec deck version, so they may be able to do some speculative decoding with the model to make it even faster. So yeah, if you see more posts about them like, oh yeah, by the way, we just double or triple the speed of this model, which is already freaking fast, bro. Yeah, be prepared, bro. This is like, these guys are crazy. Like Groq team is, y'all don't play with them. They're the people you want on your team, man. This is absolutely crazy. I can't believe this speed, bro. The speed right now. We haven't even spent $1 yet. Like, and like, I like how it's continuing to like update its documentation. See, you can kind of see how it's calmed things down a little bit in our design. And we have like some animate style things. Oh my God, this is cool. This is chill. This is more chill. I dig this vibe, you know? It's back to like 90s. It's a little too playful. Yeah, I think what we have to do is like, we probably have to get some assets. Maybe I'll have to tell it that, like, can you make some cool assets that will be overlaid? Because it's a little too stark, but well, this is not even done yet. It's still coding. Yeah, it's getting rid of some of the anime particles. Yeah, let's go rerun this. I probably have to rebuild the whole build because it changed a bunch of parts of the design system. I'm going to kill some of these Klein. So Klein even ran the convex dev stuff. That's really interesting. Wow. Okay. Klein. Yeah. I'm going to recompile. Let's see. Is it ready? Okay. Localhost 3000. Oh, 3000. Regular. Okay. Allow. Okay. Yeah, so still doing the redesign. Huh. Yeah, it's even changing some of the fonts. That's interesting. So let me fix the syntax error. See, now it's going through iterating and fixing the syntax error and then updating this documentation as well. I'm blown away at the speed. I'm really impressed with the speed and so forth. So Ray, if you switch to Rune, can you use the Nano Banana to create images as well within Rune? Can you? I've not used Roo. Roo. Really? Like, if you switch to Roo right now, you can use Nano. That's interesting. But are the images only for like the API or within your app or something? Wait, so a bit confused. How does Kimi K2 fit on Groq? Is it run on Groq infra? Yes, that's the whole point. Yeah, the Groq has their own custom infra, and like they worked with them like a while back to get this all set up, and so that's pretty much it. So it's not an H100. So yeah, for those who are kind of like I'm still kind of new to the whole like AI ML thing, but you have a couple different ideas here for that type of thing. So one of them is the fact that like you have language models that are like, it takes a bunch to train them, like with NVIDIA and so forth. But then you have these companies like Groq with a Q and Cerebras. They have their own infrastructure, right, to actually serve the model weights as far as like inference. So that is a different operation than it is to like actually train the language models. And so if you focus on inference, like these people like with Groq with a Q, they have basically these machines that are everywhere. They have a lot of memory. And so they're able to have their own custom infrastructure. And if you ever, there's some videos with some of their silicon engineers and they're talking about like the intricacies and they get down to like the actual networking stack. So if you're very familiar with computers or hooking them up, whenever you have like a data center and you're hooking multiple computers up, you have to have like all these different hops that have to happen, right? So you have the computer, you have the networking card, you have like the graphics card, and then you have like the networking chain. So like if you're going between computers and like those little links, and then you have all the synchronization that has to happen, right? So you're passing around, you have to offset all your little milliseconds when you make like one type of call. And so that all those little details matter. And that's just one version of like parallelization and sending like, you know, your tokens across through multiple devices. So once you do like at that level, like these guys are like, well, why do we have to do all that? Why don't we just have, you know, a bunch of memory and we have these dedicated machines? So they've created their own infrastructure for this. And one of the guys left Google, I think his name is Jonathan, as well. And he started this whole like paradigm. It was like, I think it was like, I don't know, like they're early, like 8 years ago or 6 years ago, he left right before the LLM craze. And they, you know, they said, I think this is going to be our own little company that we have to, we'll eventually, like once they train the models, the next step is serving them. So we're going to make a dedicated infra for serving that we're going to be like the best in the world at this. So they made their custom chips and it's only 18 nanometers, I think, for their chips right now. They're probably working with the latest nanometer technology, but as of right now, we're getting this speed at these chips, which is like super mind blowing. And so, yeah, I kind of went off the technical deep end, but basically they have their own custom infra. It's not like training it and running it on NVIDIA GPUs or anything like that. They have their own data centers. They're located in North America. They also have European regions. One of my favorite things about Groq with a Q here is the fact that when you send your data to them, like they throw it away. They don't keep it around for training your data and stuff like that. So they're literally just loading it up, running through the model weights, and then boom, your data's gone. So they don't like keep it to train it or do some really funky, weird privacy stuff. So I love their privacy stack is so fire. I mean, there's so much good stuff about Groq with a Q. Actually, I want to reach out to them and sponsor them because I love their stack so much and I believe in what they're doing. I need to make that happen. So if anyone from the Groq team is watching, y'all let's go ahead and start this conversation because I'll talk about you all day. I'm already talking about you anyways. I love it so much, but I'm gonna definitely do that for sure. Okay, so I think somebody was talking no water. Oh, so you can generate your own nano stuff. Okay, that's interesting. Oh yeah, yes, no worries. So if that's the other thing that's confusing about the name is that when Elon Musk came out with the Groq with the K, there was like a big backlash there too. So yeah, I was why? No. Yeah. I'm surprised you're not using Cursor. I am using Cursor, but I'm using Klein agent with Groq with a Q because Cursor does not yet have this model. And if Cursor has this model with Groq, bro, it's over. It's over, bro. It's so over. Do I need Claude Code and Kimi K2 subscription or only Kimi K2? So right now you only need an API key from Groq with a Q. And you just go to console.groq.com, console.groq.com. I'm going to put that into the chat. And so once you go into there, that's where you'll be able to get the API key. And that's kind of how you get the API key from there. Once you get that API key, what we did earlier in our session was we went to Klein. We installed the Klein plugin. If you go into the settings, in the settings here, you can select Groq for the provider. And once you select Groq for the provider, you just put in the API key here and make sure you select the model Moonshot K2 instruct 0905. So that's the latest model. As you can see, it does not support images. It does not support browser use, but it does support caching. And you see how much caching has saved us. Caching literally saved us 1 million tokens, which is only like about $1.50 or something like that. But it still counts, right? You know what I mean? And as far as input price, it's only 660 per million tokens. I don't know if this is the right price, but hey, I'll take it. Sheesh. Oh, it is the right price. Yeah, because this is the new pricing. It's point. So if we do 1 million tokens, it's only going to cost us 60 cents for the input. That's bonkers. Okay. All right. Damn, this is bro, we're cooking. All right. So we have a more tame version of our UI. We have this, like, it fixed our bug here. It's, it went off the deep end and was pretty cute as far as like all the stuff that it did. And I'm just really curious. So I'm going to throw one more task at it just from a design perspective, because I want to see a little bit of like, can it do some really interesting like CSS stuff? Like in CSS, you can make like SVG files and cool like little things. And so can it make some interesting anime designs and kind of incorporate that in a very like clean and subtle way that's like professional, but not too out of the way? And I think that's going to be a really fun test to see how this model does with that. This is really fun project to do. So I think from a context window, we were probably cooked. So I might just start a new, dang. Okay. We're still at 50%. So I'm gonna just throw this at it and we'll see what we can do. Right. So, and since a lot of stuff is already cached in this session, so why not use the caching that we have already available? So I'm going to say, can you possibly make some custom anime CSS? I want you to review some of the implementation, because as you can see in that generate file, we're generating the images in these really cool styles. And I kind of wanted to match and have that same vibe, because, the anime vibe is really cool with this flat 2D designs. And we should be able to do some cool stuff with like SVGs and putting that stuff into the CSS. So it kind of feels a little bit more playful. Because right now we don't want it to be overly aggressive, but we want it to kind of be like nice, professional, but also clean and fun and engaging, and kind of give off that whole anime vibe, if you know what I mean. So we'll see what that means. And then I'm going to go ahead to plan. I'm just going to curious to see how it comes up with the plan. And I'm also curious to see how it's going to do with its actual tool calling, because here, what we're doing is, did it already finish, bro? Absolutely. I need to understand you want to create. Okay. Let me review your current implementation and understand the anime. Is it working? I guess it's not really clear if it's working for me or not. I'm just really curious. So let me just give it again. Restore chat and restore chat. And okay, just hit enter. Okay, absolutely. Can I hit act? Okay, perfect. Let's examine your current generate. Okay, yeah, there's an interesting glitch to that, because I thought it was supposed to do something. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Davidas? The fact that it finished outputting before you could even scroll down is insane, bro. Bro, I'm telling you right now, this model's ridiculous. I'm so blown away, like, at its ability to do this type of tool calling. And yeah, we finally spent $1, folks. We finally spent $1. This is crazy. So now it's doing like an anime hand drawn before, after. This is interesting. I'm really curious to see how it's going to put this into our. This is crazy. Yeah, $1. I feel like this could be like a Mr. Beast video. I just spent $1 and like vibe coded a whole $1 million app. Let's go. Bro, you're so used to reading AI that it works. Yeah. I can't right now. This is so crazy. Yeah. Wow. Yes, bro. Bro, we are cooking. When I say we, Moonshot is cooking. And it's going to go redesign our UI for us? Come on, bro. Oh, it's going back to like this thing again. Oh, interesting. I kind of like these little buttons, to be honest. These are like the new, that's hot. Oh, okay. I think we're cooking, fam. We're going to have something really interesting here. We're going to like up our vibes for sure. To the moon. Oh my gosh. Let's see. This is such a vibe. This is interesting. I'm just going to keep watching it here. I can't keep up with it. It's too fast, bro. It's too fast. It's literally too fast. This is NASCAR speeds. Like, I'm being dripped out in real time. Bro, like, I just love the speed. Oh yeah, I want to check out this keyboard, by the way. I don't know if you know, I got this cool keyboard called the knob. I think it's called Work Louder knob. So yeah, I got the knob keyboard. So this is going to be really interesting for us to check out. I might just open it while we're waiting for this. Like, it's funny because I have not really had any downtime using this model. This model's so fast that we don't even have any downtime to like literally open this up and start playing with it. You know what I mean? It's because like this keyboard's supposed to be like super fancy and like it costs $600. So this is absolutely crazy. Yeah. I'm executing one cursor prompt for every 10 prompts. I'm telling you, bro. We've like flipped the design like 3 times already. Look at the background. Look at the background, bro. Oh my god. I've priced out my Claude Code max usage 100K. Dang, bro. That means it's less than $10 for over a whole month, bro. That's what I'm saying. When I'm paying $100 a month for Claude Code. Let me read that again. I've just priced up my Claude Code max usage. So in order to do that, if you're not familiar, if you want to check out, you just open your terminal. You can do bunx cc usage, right? So once we do that, then you'll be able to see how much you've used for the month. So like we could just price it up if you want. Like that's a really interesting. We can vibe code an app to help us do this, right? Bunx cc usage. Yeah, you can do monthly. So I can show you what I do for the month, right? And so for me, for like the month of September, I've spent $45. And then for the month of August, I've spent $136, right? And so this is my input, this is my output. And then like obviously in September, I used a lot more for the input than I did for the output there. This doesn't talk about caching and all these different factors here, but this is just kind of a ballpark price for what it is. And so, I've kind of switched. I've been using less Claude Code and I've been using more of Cursor's agent. And because I find Cursor's agent to be really, really fast and reliable, and I don't use the Sonnet model, I've been using GPT-5 as well. So that's the other thing. I've been spreading out my costs and not even getting the value from my Claude Code plan anymore, right? So this is really interesting. This is crazy. Like is this just pure vibes right now? Run command. Yeah. It's great. Oh man, this is so cool. Is it loading the app? Yeah. I think it's loading the app. Okay. So it's basically done now. Okay, cool. Let me just restart the server. Bundev. All right, cool. This is too much, bro. I kind of like this. This is it's wild. What I find interesting is like some of these little like UI elements. Look at this. Look at this animation, bro. Like this is crazy. Let me move this chat out of the way. So I don't know if you realize this, but whenever you hover over this, it goes from this to this. Aside from that really weird animation, this is really cool. So like this little details are really interesting. So it's like you go into here, see how it kind of does this little animation type of thing. This is cute. Like this is very, obviously we're going to fix different parts of this type of thing, but as an app, I think it's interesting, you know? Like kind of what it's working with here. So allow, yeah. Let me link you to the DevRels. Oh, please. Yeah, I think I'm already talking with Hattis, but yeah, it'd be really cool. I use approximately $40, $50. Wow, for Claude Code. Add an animation on the click to tap Ray. Okay, cool. On buttons. Oh, interesting. Oh, for like a cool like animation. Yeah. Wow. Wow. This is cool. See, and I like how when you put your hover over the mouse, it kind of does like a little zoom in, which is super cute. Like that's a really cool like animation. Like, let's just take a photo. I want to see what happens. Like I wanted to kind of make like this like meme wow sound. So let's see camera settings. I'm going to go back to HD camera. gonna start camera again. And so what I'm gonna do is maybe hold up the keyboard and I'm gonna see what it does with the keyboard. So I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna move my microphone, or maybe the microphone stays. Okay, so it's generating our image right now, and we'll see what comes about. This is really cool, and yeah, we'll see if it's pure vibes or not. So, all right, cool. I was just curious to see what the interaction is. Like captured, and then is it gonna load? Is it gonna load? Is it gonna load? Or are we gonna crash? I think we're. Wow, this app is fun. Whoa, look at the like how it has music and stuff coming out of it. Wow. I like this app. This app is fun. This is like the most fun I've had like making an app. Dang. You can share on X. I could share, like if I hit the share sheet, it should pop up the different things. Click to share and I go here. Let me just kind of see if this is cool. And this is like the little button. So you can kind of hover over this little button here. That's awesome. Yeah, isn't that cool? So yeah, this is all done with like a system prompt. We're using Nano Banana. Should I add 5 seconds timer for the capture, I guess? Oh, you should count down with the cheering sound effect when you click take a photo. Yeah. Add an animation and click to tap. I think I'll do that. Yeah. I think it's just like continued iterations. So I'm just going to copy this text from copy text. And I'm just going to give that. So this is what's kind of fun, right? Because we're here and we can kind of iterate so quickly. I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the documentation was updated. So did we update the documentation? It did. Yeah, it updated the design progress. I love that it's doing that, by the way, for itself. That is so crazy. Yeah, this is great. Holy smokes, man. This is amazing how fast we can ship features. All right, so I'm going to go back to Klein. I gotta pin this thing because this deserves a pin. We got to move you up over Codex right now because you're cooking, bro. You know, I feel like this is like top 5 friends. You know, like my like. Oh, that's what I should do. I should make my like top 5, right? Like which are my top 5 agents or my top 3, and like just they'll move every week, right? Every time there's a new agent stuff. Yeah, they got promoted, bro. I think you got promoted, bro. GPT, like you're gonna chill over here, Codex. Yeah, see you, Codex. Bye, Claude Code. Okay, I'm gonna copy that prompt. I'm gonna say you should add. I'm just gonna do exactly what Jonathan typed. This is exactly what he said in the comments. He says you should add this, and then we're just gonna just type that into here. So start new task. Oh no. Can I go back? Okay. Yeah, this is actually dang. This is really interesting. So I still got some room here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and hit send here. That's awesome. It's crazy how, bro, I can't, how fast this is so fast. This is insane. Bro. This is, yeah, we could say retake. Dang. It's wild. It's even updated my documentation again. Let's go ahead and go. Let's see if I can see it. Okay. What's it saying now? Oh, it's just basically going through and fixing all the different errors. This is so fast. We've cached 3.5 million tokens. Dang, bro, this is... Do you have a system prompt telling it to update the docs each time? No, I only referenced it once in the README file because I have a README file that talks about the documentation folder. And then I do have system prompts for Claude Code, but I don't have it for Klein, right? All I had to do in this Klein session was to say, I have this docs, go through the README, and then the README itself will actually kind of talk about this thing. So let me show you what the README is like after it does this code, and I'll kind of go over that documentation design system. It's a custom system that I made because I don't want to use like Taskmaster MCP. For those who don't know, like if you use like one of those MCPs, you start to chew up all this context window, and then it's just really bad. Like it just throws me off the rails in my planning and does a little too much. And so if I go to create my own now, can I go to the homepage? What's it saying? cannot access uninitialized variable. I think, do we have a bug fix here? I think it's fixing itself. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, there's some bugs in actually writing the file. So it's going to try to fix itself. Yeah. Wow. This is crazy. This is so crazy. This has been just a wild stream. I got a little like crazy distracted. So, I mean, where are we at so far? For those who are watching, you're basically watching a live stream of me setting up K2-09-05, the latest model from China, 250K plus token context window, open source, available on Moonshot API, which is currently in the China region. When I used that in Claude Code, it was so slow that I actually had to switch over to the North American region because I'm currently based in Hawaii right now. And so that's currently available on Together AI, Fireworks AI. That's also available on Groq as well. And that's what we're doing. So we use the Groq endpoint. I have an API key there. And we actually connected it inside of Cursor using the Klein plugin. So Klein is basically a plugin that acts as an AI agent in your code editor. And so you can select different models. And so I selected the Groq provider. And then I make sure I select Kimi Moonshot K2-09-05. Once we did that, we've been cooking at a speed that I cannot, like for everyone, like somebody was saying, for every like one request that he had in Cursor or Claude Code, I was already getting 10 requests in. We've touched millions of tokens, like almost 3 million tokens, right? All that stuff has cost us barely $1.30. We haven't even spent $1.50 so far. And it's just been so impressive. So what am I going to use this model for? Prototyping. Easy. Like I want to try an idea. Let's just try it. Just silly, wild idea. Just go. And you know, if I want to try like a redesign, like a refactor, like whatever, just anything you want, just go, right? It's impressive how good the agentic calling and the steps that happen after that. And it's almost too fast. I got so used to waiting for these models, especially GPT-5, even on the fast setting. I got used to like, okay, I said it, I'm going to go do something, come back. Like I can go to the beach, but now I can't really go to the beach because I have to like lock in right now. So this is really crazy how good it is. And like it still has in its memory to go back to update the different design documents and all these rules files and other documentation that's needed to update its AI agents. This is amazing. So yeah, so that's what's up. Good morning from London. Yeah, hello. Click the copy button in the Next.js error and copy the error. Okay, yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and do that next. But it's still fixing it itself because I think it's running its own little build process. And then this is now having an error here with this type of thing. This is interesting. So, and it's still cooking, by the way. So I'm just curious to see. So I think you're saying in here, oh no, up here is where you're saying a copy. So yeah, instead of me highlighting and selecting this, what Doom was saying is I actually be able to select this little copy button here to copy it there. Why not try it in Tray Editor? Only $10 a month, unlimited use. Right now, I'm basically just focused on Cursor because I've been using Cursor as my daily driver. And Cursor's the reason why I use Cursor is because the experience was so fast and it was so good at grabbing all these different files that I prefer to use Cursor. And now with Klein, with Groq, it's crazy how fast it is and how cheap it is just to prototype a quick idea. So that'd be what's up. So yeah. I think it's finished all the changes. So when the user clicks photo, the 3-second countdown begins and it sounds. And so I think I want us to go ahead and see, if I go to like webcam here, if I do Command Shift P, reset the TypeScript server, does everything work now? Okay. So yeah, I think there's still some type errors. Make sure you fix the type errors. I think let me just refresh. Yeah. I want you to fix the remaining errors. Yeah, I think that's it. Boom. So now it's just going to go through. It's crazy how fast it is. Let's see. Hopefully, that's the other thing too. Like, I think in right now, no one in like North America is awake right now because it's, you know, it's currently 11 o'clock Hawaiian time. So everyone else is probably going to wake up soon. And yeah, that's what's up. Runtime error should be testing. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. But so I'm not familiar with using Klein, by the way, because I've never really used Klein as my daily driver. So I'm pretty sure there's a way to set up these rules files in the way that I currently use them with Claude Code or with Cursor rules files, because Cursor has I have I have a lot of these things are kind of automated, but like you can kind of just see, I just pointed to a documentation README or I pointed to a certain folder and it's able to kind of get that context itself. And so it's kind of nice that like I don't really have to have a lot of rules files, and it, as the agent goes to a specific directory, it'll sort of figure out what it needs to do in that directory just by the nature of what that is. Can you teach us making SaaS? That's exactly what I'm doing. So, okay, for those who don't know, I'm starting this new thing where I'm basically going to live stream again. So on July, I live streamed every single day for the month of July. That was fire. I love that so much. And I think this is my actual calling. Like I need to live stream, talk more about AI coding. I used to be an engineer at Apple, and now it's like just using AI to make these different types of apps. So starting tomorrow, I'm basically going to try to make these little micro apps. I want to try to ship these apps as much as possible using all these different AI coding tools to my advantage, because like this is our era and we have to learn how to be a software engineer 2.0. And to get there, prompting is probably the biggest key to all of this, right? You see how I prompt, you see how I'm getting all that information from this models. You see how I can give it these types of directions like update documentation. And let me go ahead and show you what that looks like. Let me go Command P, documentation, README. So this is my README right now. And in this file, like this is why it's really important, because these language models will keep following my instructions. I have how features work, how things are active, completed, and planned. And so whenever an agent is going through this file, it's going to generate a new spec based off of this. Naming conventions as well, it's going to use that. Has a feature lifecycle, so I teach the model about that. And all of this stuff I didn't write myself. I just basically told Claude Opus to say, this is the behavior I'm looking for. This is kind of what I want. And I kind of iterated on my own to do that. And so I'm just going to like, y'all just got to subscribe, show up every day. And this is where I'm going to be. I'm going to be showing up. I'm going to be making this app. Like I'm going to add Polar to this. I'm going to add a clerk for the authentication, so that way we can get users to sign in. With Polar, you can start charging like $5 for like X amount of credits. So that way you can put like $5 in it or something like that and start to do a bunch of generations. So that'd be what's up. Yeah. Did you watch the video on Tracer? I don't think so. Did you put that into can you just at me again in the Discord? I'm really curious to see that. I love that shirt. Yes. Oh, Kalapa Y. Yeah, this is such a great shirt, man. This is so awesome. Yeah. Ultimately, we want faster coding models, not something that takes 5 minutes thinking. And the problem with one-shots it. Yeah. With a faster, less smart model, I can iterate faster, even if it takes 2 to 3 times the prompts. There's that plus code output, right? So I got fast with Groq Code fast, and the code output was really variable for me. And that's kind of where, like, to me, Kimi Moonshot with Groq seems to kind of take over that Groq fast, right? So it's faster than Groq fast in Cursor. It's agentic. You see how we've been able to prototype things. It's just so crazy. Can you show your workflow, please? Yeah, I think I'll probably talk more about this workflow thing for sure. I might actually do it in my next video. So yeah, so the next video I have lined up is going to be tomorrow afternoon Hawaiian time. I think it's Friday. So right around probably like noon after I get my lunch. Because in the morning I have to go out at 6 a.m. So like in 7 hours from now, I have to be on the water, paddling in the morning. I just finished a paddle tonight. Once I take care of that with my health and all that stuff, get energized, I'm going to come back on the stream and I'm going to make this app. So my goal is to try to make these apps and launch them, because I think that there's a lot of viral capability with the new Google Nano Banana, whatever you call that Nano model or something it is. And we need to actually cater the experience, because users are not going to want to type in prompts. Like I'm not going to want to type in prompts to say, oh, can you get the keyboard? Oh no, just this. Like, no, you got to do it for them, right? You got to provide the experience and people will do it, right? When you go to a restaurant, like they don't just say, hey, what do you want? We have a kitchen. We have all the ingredients. What do you want? And you're like, I don't know, like pizza. And they're just like, what kind of pizza? And they're like, red sauce or white sauce? You're like, people get so tired. It's like, I'm gonna just leave the restaurant. I'm just gonna go over there. There's a big line and they're serving people, right? So that's what you have to think about when you're making apps, that like you serve people, right? Make it as easy as possible. Do something really fun. If you discover a new way of doing something, definitely cook that way. And that's kind of what I want to show you in my live streams. And I can show you a lot faster if I live stream it, as opposed to like recording these videos and only doing like 1 or 2 videos a week. Nah, man, AI moves too fast for that. Like by the time I make a video, I have a video on GPT-5 image model that I did like 3 weeks ago. Or 2 weeks ago. And the new Google image model came out in that time. I still haven't published the video. I'm going to publish the video and be like, bro, have you heard of the new Google model? It's been out for a while, bro. Where have you been? I was like, that's why I live stream. Because by the time I get the video edited and publish it, bro, we're already behind. Like, y'all, the world has already moved on and then some. So we have to keep up with this trend. This is going to be, you're going to witness like this app that we're building. I forked this app from my friend Ross Mickey. And he now works at Convex, and Convex is a fire stack. I mean, I've been using it before he worked there, and I really like what they do. And I respect those engineers because they used to work at Dropbox dealing with terabytes of data. They know what they're doing, and we're getting that sauce from them basically. So that's what I'm going to be doing if y'all want to chill in here. I also have a Discord, by the way. So if you want to check out the Discord, https://rfer.me/discord. And so if you click that link, you should be able to basically check out the Discord. It's currently a private Discord. I want to just keep it to private members. Because you're listening to the stream right now, you're going to get in at this new $14.99 price before it goes to double the price. And so at 200 members, we're going to just double the price again. So for the folks who got my first 100, y'all got half the price. So like it's basically just going to keep doubling. And like there's just a lot of really cool people that have already joined the Discord. And if you're even watching this and you're kind of feeling the vibe, you know, it's not a bad place to hang out and lock in that price while you can. So I think that's kind of my little spiel there. Groq Code fasts over 99B tokens right now. Bro, what the heck are you doing, bro? Are you the trillion token comma club, bro? Bro, trillion tokens, bro? You're 4 commas right now? You're about to hit 4 commas? Y'all are too much right now. How's the pricing with Convex? Was interested in using it, bro. I think Convex is free, bro. Like Convex pricing right now. Let me hit you up. I don't know if you know about this, but like this is like the steal of the century right now. So check this out. You can have 6 developers. Like you can have like technically like a team account, and they won't even hit you with anything. They were just like, yeah, of course you develop with the team. You can have 20 projects. Supabase only lets you get 1. And like, we're not even gonna talk about that right now. Professional, like you don't even have to pay 25. You can get away on the free plan like most everyone else is, and you get everything. Like, and what they give you is like these, you don't even need the chef tokens. You just need function calls. You get 1 million function calls a month, you know, and then after that, for every million, you could just pay $2. You don't even hit that, right? Compute hours, like, see, for database storage, like it's not optimal, but like if you're going to be storing files like the way I am, you know, it's the bandwidth is 22 gigabytes per month. But this is kind of where the Next.js caching comes in, because once I have the file that's generated, I'm going to take advantage of the caching, because when people do the share link, I use the image stuff, and I'm relying on Next.js's framework to kind of handle that and the distribution with their type of thing. So it's really beautiful. It's really easy. But the first part is just kind of uploading the file and getting that up there. Here's the file storage stuff that we have there. There's vector database. And yeah, I think that's kind of where we are dealing with that. I've thought about actually doing a partnership with Convex because I use them and love them so much. And so I think a lot of people are like I used to have this, I'm kind of getting over this perception of like, it's okay to get paid from people that you like, because I genuinely use them and I reach out to them and do business with them. And there's certain companies that I won't reach out to because I just don't believe in them. Like, I don't want to take their money. I don't want it anyways. Like, I only want to mess with companies I really believe with. So yeah, I think what we should do right now is do like a bonus section. So if you've been tuning in this far, you made it this far to the stream, we're going to try to unbox this right now. And so I think that'd be really cool because I want you to see this. I got not only one camera, but I have 2 cameras. So that way you get a little bit closer in terms of like what this angle looks like, and this cool keyboard, and like it's a whole vibe of what it is. So this is the knob keyboard. And I think this is gonna be really fun to unbox, and this is like a whole like geek thing. So the vibes are immaculate in the Ray's Discord for sure. Yeah, I started Convex this week for sure. Convex has a GUI. Oh, and Convex has this AI. So everything's written in TypeScript, and Convex has their AI rules. So that's what makes it easier for you to actually work with these types of things. So if you just go to Google and type in Convex AI rules, and then from there, you'll be able to get to the first one. And the first one will actually show you the AI rules for Cursor, Windsurf, Copilot, or just the rules.txt. So those files you want to use, especially if you're going to do agentic coding. And I don't know if you know this, but whenever you're doing any type of agentic coding, they're so good at TypeScript, which is kind of why this is really interesting, because Convex is all written in TypeScript. That's database. So you don't have to think about SQL queries, and they have their own query language, right? So whenever you're writing stuff on your front end, all you have to do is think about your data being modeled on the back end, right? So think about all your data and the truth and everything all on Convex as the source of truth. And then your front end is just acting as like a window to the data. And that's all you have to do. That's all you think about it, right? Don't think about caching on the front end. All that stuff's already handled at the framework level. So it does a couple of things. You don't have to write as much code, right? You don't have to write all this cache and validation stuff on the front end. Nope. You just say query, give me the thing. And then Convex is going to deal with all the caching and all that. So if multiple people are hitting it and it's the same file, it's just, you're going to send it over. It's not going to charge you extra for that. I mean, I can keep going on and on, but this is so fire. More on that later. All right. So yeah, Convex has a dashboard. Yeah. Personally, I won't shout out companies I don't use or trust. Yeah. I mean, that's what's up, man. That's what's all about. Would you consider setting up a jobs board to pay for Discord access? I got Claude Code buckets wasting away. What's that mean? A job board. So are you saying that you're not able to afford the $14.99 a month? I think if you're down to like edit some clips, like take my live streams and clip them and just hit me up, bro, like if your clips actually get views, I'll let you in the Discord for sure. Convex is for payments. Convex is the database. So when you link it with Clerk Auth and Polar, so Polar is the one that's doing the payments, and Polar is currently sitting above Stripe, but Polar provides a better development experience because you don't have to deal with all this other webhook consolidation stuff. And that's kind of why I've been really excited about this. Finally, bro, your streaming is not at 4 a.m., bro. I'm in Hawaii. That's why I like streaming from Hawaii. A couple of things, like usually the language models perform a lot better out here in the middle of the night. So how do you integrate Convex with V0? I usually have to take the project and put it in Cursor and then initialize it there. It's literally like a diffusion LLM. Yeah, that's what's up. For sure, for sure. So yeah, let's get cooking, fam. Let's just check this out. So Polar is a wrapper for Stripe, basically, as of now, but they're actually moving away from Stripe. They're going to do a different payment system. So like they pay out and they charge a fee to withdraw. But I find the experience so damn good with Polar that like it's well worth it, because setting up Stripe is a pain in the ass. So I can use Polar with PHP. I don't think so. I think it's only Next.js or TypeScript. I don't know if they have Python, but it'd be really interesting. Paddle for payments. I've not tried Paddle. I know a lot of big companies are using it as well. So yeah, let's just see, where are we with our Roo Code thing? And so, okay, cool. So the countdown should work. Obviously didn't fix this last linter error, and I think it's because we're running out of tokens for our context window. So if you want to check out a video, I have something on that about context window and context rot. And this is probably what's going on right here. We're so close to the edge of our context that we're probably unable to do this last request here. It doesn't surprise me, but hey, we made it this far. And I feel like that's a really interesting thing. So as a bonus round, we're going to go ahead and see if we can unbox our work louder thing. So I'm going to try to see if I can get my little studio set up here so that it's the most optimal situation. And then I'm going to try to get my little action camera. And I have that action camera here. Oops, I'm not trying to zoom. I'm trying to, let's see. Okay, cool. So I have this other camera, and what I'm going to go ahead and do is point it to here. So I have this thing that I have going on there. And I think what I'll go ahead and do is just kind of like, they have this little flap here. I'm just going to move it back this way. And I should be able to just, it looks like kind of like this thing, for whatever reason, during the shipping kind of got messed up. So yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, it's kind of awkward here, but whatever. I'm going to do this. It's probably a lot easier. All right. So, what's interesting is that like, basically what I'm doing is I have like the Apple keyboard. And so the Apple keyboard right now is basically what I'm just going to throw away. And we're going to replace it with this guy. So this is what this guy is about. And so this is the knob keyboard. And so this is like the, yeah, let's go check this out. They have this Apple-like packaging, and we're going to see, this is what a $600 keyboard looks like. Dang. Okay. So this is the thing here. So I think, yeah, this one got taken off, and we'll see live what's kind of happening. All right. All right, cool. Ooh, inspiration exists, but has to find you working. This is from Pablo Picasso. That's interesting. Y'all believe that? This is wild. Yeah. So, okay, cool. All right. So are we ready for this? I don't know if we're ready for this. I think what's going to happen is it's going to fall out. Okay. So there's these little knobs up here, and I'm going to just remove this little thing here. Ooh. Wow. This is really interesting. Let's just kind of hear the keyboard. Oh, wow. I think we're going to do like some ASMR content, because look at this. Hi, ladies and gentlemen. This is me clacking on a keyboard. This is what it feels like when you're hanging out with Ray Fernando vibe coding at 11:13 p.m. in Hawaii. Sometimes when I vibe code, I don't even actually type with my keys. I pretend to type because it makes me look very productive. Oh my God, this is crazy. All right. Let's just cut. All right, so let's just get this here. Let me see if I can pull this thing out. Okay, let's see. So what I got here is this guy, and you can kind of see the build here. This is really interesting. So it looks very similar to the Apple keyboard. If you're trying to understand how thick this is, like thick with 2 C's is probably about right. If you can kind of see here. So I'll put this back to back. So like this is like comparison. We have comparison 1, comparison 2. So yeah, it's almost as thick as the Apple keyboard, just a little less thicker. If you can kind of see, like you can kind of see where we're at with the vibes. So yeah, I mean, it's still pretty low profile, to be honest. I love the sound though. The sound of the keyboard is so fire. So let me just put this on the desk and just kind of it's nice. I'm not going to lie. I really love the look and feel, because it's like, oh, okay. So there's the first feeling, which is grabbing these keys, and like I get the home row feeling, you know. Oh. This is too good, bro. This keyboard, it's sex. It's sex. It's literally SEGGX. Yeah, segs. SEG. Oh yes. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh yes. This is nice. This is so nice. I can't tell you how good this feels actually. And this little knobby thing does not make any noises, but this is fire. This is fire. So now we got to light up the screen and kind of figure out what this does there. I don't know exactly, but this is kind of the knob thing. And then in the video, they actually show these little magnets of these little feet. Ah, that's pretty cool. So you kind of have like this little magnet effect as it kind of goes. And so I guess it does kind of line up here. You can kind of see. So let me just kind of show myself here. So yeah, these little feet kind of attach here, and they kind of do that little thing there. So this is kind of what they look like when they're on here. And then you can take them off, and it's all like magnet based. You can kind of see. So this is really cool to see the keyboard. It kind of slides itself in. So I guess you can also put a little like foot, or maybe the foot back there is kind of to offset this guy. But yeah, this is kind of cool. So then we have this little switch here that turns it on. And I think the switch is kind of interesting. So that's really cool. I think we have to plug this in via USB, right? Okay. Stay connected. I don't think it's a Bluetooth keyboard, but I'm not really sure. Ooh, this is so cool. All right. So there is a problem, is the fact that I don't think I have enough USB ports. Oh, what else does it come with in the box? So in the box, what I see down here is like this guy. So I have this cable with this type of thing that I would connect here. And then this kind of came in like that. And then I don't know what this is. This is probably like some of the other components here for like other knobs that I can replace. Okay, this is really cool. It's awesome. So we're basically taking a look, for those who don't know, I basically bought this like $600 keyboard, and that's kind of what we're taking a look at right now. And so, yeah, I don't know exactly what these keys are. I mean, I just saw the aesthetics and like, this keyboard is so ridiculous. And so we'd have to kind of take a look here. So this is like one of the other knobs that I can replace it with, because these are my other knobs up here. So maybe that's kind of what we do here. That's interesting. Okay, so I'll leave this kind of down there. And then what is this here? Oh, okay. So if you bought the keyboard kit thing, you actually have this little guy that can actually take out the keyboards, the keys. So he goes click, click. And then there's also like this other really interesting metal piece here, like an ejector kit that you would do that there. So, okay. So I'll leave that here. Wow, this is wild. Okay, so that's kind of going over here. And now I actually have to connect this. And so what I might do is just disconnect my iPad because I have my iPad disconnected here, and we'll see if it still kind of keeps going. I didn't know keyboard prawn was a thing. Bro, it is. Like, it's crazy. Okay, so I don't know if you... Oh, yeah. So at the Cursor offices, they actually have a keyboard library. And it's pretty fire. And so what's interesting, I spoke with one of the developers. His name is Ian. He's the one who did like what we know is like Cursor Agent today. Like that whole interface is just like two guys who kind of did the UI there, and then there's a bunch of other backend work that needs to happen, obviously. But like he said, it's like you change the feel of your whole session. So he says like it changes the way you think because of the way when you touch the keys and everything, and like the sounds that you make. You know what I mean? Like that type of like thing is just very like different. You're like, oh, it's so good. Okay, let's connect this thing. So I'm gonna try to connect it to my so I have my Apple keyboard here. Or oh, there goes. I lost my connection to my iPad. Okay, iPad down. Okay, now it's reconnected again over Wi-Fi. Heck yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and see if I can just use USB-C. All right, so this is such a vibe right now. We'll see. And so I don't know if you know, and we're gonna see is this screen here. It should light up when we plug this in. Let's see. All right, cool. Let's see. And then I think I've hit this guy here. Okay. Ooh. Wow. So I think we see the lights. Let me just take this off. So it says FN plus this knob and turn the dial button to change the functions. Okay, so where's the FN key? Right here. Oh, cool. So this screen here is being shown, and I don't know if I can show you very much, but like this is kind of what it's showing me. Is this the brightness? Let's see. Let me see if I can kind of show you some more, because this is like the endpoints kind of ended here. So if I hit FN and then I just kind of turn it this way. Ooh. Oh, and this is the brightness. Okay, now I can get the screen brighter. Okay, here we go. And I can change like this color. So how do I change this? Oh, I can change. And I think the keyboard itself, so the keyboard itself is lit up. It's kind of hard to tell with my lighting right now, but you can kind of see how like we change it to like blue, and it kind of has these like blue hues to it. And so, yeah, okay. So now I can just kind of hit this little thing. Now I hit this. Oh, okay. Now I can make that brighter too. Okay. So you can kind of see more of the background. And then let's change this to, sorry. And so connected FN1. Oh, okay. So this does have a Bluetooth connection. So if I do FN and then 1, then FN plus like the number 1 will connect it to Bluetooth. Awesome. So if we do FN1, and then, okay, now it says allow the disk connection to accept. Yeah. So like on my screen right now, what it's showing is allowing me to connect to the Bluetooth keyboard. So I hit continue. And then it says identifying the keyboard, press the key immediately to the right of the shift key on the left side of the keyboard. Okay. And then immediately press the key to the left of the shift key on the right side of the keyboard. Okay. At this key. We're doing a US keyboard. Yes. Done. Okay. So now I should be able to vibe code inside of like Cursor or something, right? So if I go down here, theoretically now I should be Bluetooth connected. So like, hello. This is crazy. Okay. I got to map my keys because I think I'm okay. How are you doing? Wow. Okay. This feels really good. Whoops. No, I don't want, cancel. So, okay. I'm just going to open up a new file. Whoa, this is crazy cool. So, and I start coding here. This feels really nice. Okay. Oh, hit escape. Wow. Okay. So I do like coding with this, or not coding. How are you doing today? Are you there right now? Okay. I really like the feel. It's much softer than I was thinking because these keyboards here are really sticky. And I don't know if you see, because like you can kind of tell, like whenever I type here, it's a little more sticky, like here, and that's okay. But here's soft. It's really, really soft. And so my fingers glide over it. And sometimes I feel like I do feel more tactileness when I hit down on the key because it kind of makes that nice little feedback. So I don't have to hit the key as hard. And I think that's what's really interesting here compared to like using the Apple keyboard, because it has a clicky feel. Like it kind of feels like, you know, more like tactile, like click, 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 like you're hitting like if you ever like played with the gum, if you ever get those gum, like pieces of gum that are in those little foils and you hit the little plastic and it pops it out. That's kind of what it feels like an Apple keyboard. You know, you hit a little pop, 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 pop. You know, you just kind of hit that all the time. Where here, it's much more subtle. Like it barely feels like you hit the key. So now I don't have to feel like I'm really hitting it hard. So now I'm moving softer and I kind of have to reprogram my mind to do that. So that's really interesting. I use the $200 Logic keyboard. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, no, it's cool. This is a whole vibe. Obviously, like this is kind of, there's a whole niche. Like I'm just getting, this is my first like really pricey keyboard. I don't think I've ever spent this much money on a keyboard before. And I don't know. Is it worth it? I think so. For me, it's like it's a vibe. And I think that's the whole thing. Like for live streaming, it's kind of its own vibe, if you know what I mean. And so it thinks it's 619, but yeah, this is kind of like the little like UI system. Obviously, it's not a touch screen as much as I want to touch it. I don't know what this button does, but I know this button does something. And I'm pretty sure we can program it to do really cool stuff. So this is really cool. These are all the different settings that we have. So I could probably set the time that's correctly. So it's currently 11:24. Whoops. So how do I set this time? Oh, here, this is one. 11. And then I go down. Okay, 24. It's currently, 25. 11:25. I'm basically setting the time. It's a little awkward to do from like showing you like this, but it's okay. You guys are worth it. And then I don't like to do 24-hour time. I like to do non-24-hour time. And then we'll do PM. Yes. And then today is not 25th of January. Today is 4th, September 4th. Okay, September 4th. September. And it's not 2020 or the year 2000. It's year 2025. Awesome. Cool. I think we're good, fam. Hit FN and I kind of change it around. Now we have like the right. Okay, yeah. Now I was like, hopefully it updated. I did all that work. So now we have the right time. I'm going to take off my face. It tries to track my face. I think that's what it's doing. Yeah. And so now we have the right time. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, this is really cool. Like the feel of the keys, you can kind of see. Yeah, this is fire. All right, cool. Is that the knob? It's not crap, man. It's such a vibe. Let's use the new keyboard to vibe code the new features. Yes. I think we'll do that. Yeah, I had to take a little bit of a break there. This is not a paid ad or anything like that. This is me actually just vibing while we're doing this type of thing. I've been wanting to open this keyboard type of thing. So now that we got it open, I'm actually really excited now. So yeah, our stream is now entering the next decade. So let's go ahead and go. All right. So what do we have here? So I totally, oh my gosh. All right. So now that we have these types of things here, the question is like, do I want to vibe out with this type of thing? It's struggling to fix my bugs here. And so if I hit new task, I'm just going to say, so I don't know how it's going to work with my globe command. Hello. So I have a whisper flow command and I probably will have to update that shortcut because I used to hit like the little globe button and that's kind of what I was using. And it's like an emoji button. That emoji button was like that one that was picking up all my requests for it. So yeah, I think I'll have to update that setting. But as of now, I'm just going to type it all out because I have a new keyboard, I guess. So I could say, I need you to fix the remaining bugs at webcam. Yeah, we did a change in feature. So I have a documentation folder called features. And this is a regression from it. And then I'm going to copy the actual error, right? Because that's the error. Okay. and let it go. Okay, cool. I love typing. It's so fast. Okay, cool. So now, because we have a new context window, it's just going to go through and fix the errors. Nice. See, that's what I should have done to begin with. It's crazy how fast we can fix the bugs. Oh my God, this is too cool. So what am I doing right now? Okay, so, okay. Now let me just command refresh, alt refresh. So this is what I'm still trying to get used to with this new keyboard, is because usually I can hit command refresh, but that doesn't do anything. I have to hit this refresh button up here. Okay, allow. Okay. Okay, cool. So now we're still able to select our different gallery images. I'd say the performance is really slow because when I click the images, they don't respond, or when I hover over them. Okay, so that's what I'm going to type out here. So I'm going to say the change works now, but there is a regression where if you, it seems to be very slow, and after selecting an image from the gallery, it no longer lets you select another image. Okay, cool. Man, I feel like I type way faster with this keyboard. That's kind of crazy how fast I could type with this keyboard, actually. That's awesome. Which provider are you using for Kimi K2? I'm using the Groq. Groq with a Q is the provider that we're doing. As a default PC keyboard, I guess, Control F5 hard refresh. Oh, okay, that's right. Yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, so I think I forgot this try catch or something like that. Yeah, I think this is like a nesting bug. Okay, cool. Let's see what else is fixing here. So now let me fix the image selection issue by improving the retake photo function. Oh, I see. Bro, this thing's so fast. So this is, oh, I see. It's exposing its own little task progress thing. Bro, this is crazy how fast it is. This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. Yeah. It wants to edit this file. Yeah, it's go ahead and go. I think it's, yeah, it's way faster now. Now it's fixed it. Yeah. Dang. Bro, this thing moves fast. And even it fixed the hover thing. Bro, this is crazy how fast it moves. Okay, yeah. So simplify the complex audio processing from 3 oscillators to 1. Proper error handling, and then fix the retake photo function to properly handle camera state and clean up the 100 millisecond delay. Shoot, let's go ahead and do this. Camera settings, start camera. Let's go ahead and do the countdown timer. Let's see. That's fire. Did you hear the sounds, by the way? It's actually really cool that it does this little like, oh, it does it like the FaceTime camera. That was really cool. So that was, for those who are watching, that was kind of what we did earlier. That was a suggestion from someone. This is so fire right now. So we should be able to see the image. I think what's happening is the gallery doesn't update the image because of some type of thing. What? Oh, did we? Oh my God, I want this. Oh, come on, give me the image. Oh, I want this image so bad. Because look, this is really cool, but like this other one's way better. Oh my God, come on, give it to me, give it to me. No. Did we error out? I'm really curious now. So let's see. I'm going to go back to my convex database. Oh, okay. It's not completed yet. So let's go to the logs. Dang, I think we aired out, fam. Let's just see. Is this the latest one? Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's go ahead and go back to my app. Oh, there's an issue. Let me just refresh. Oh, shoot. Allow? Okay. Oh, maybe there's like a weird caching bug. Huh. Yeah. Okay, here. Okay, cool. Yeah. So this is the app. Wow. Let me just refresh it again. Allow. Oh, cool. Ah. Wow, this is crazy. So it kept my thing, but it added this really cool splash to it. And that's different from the other image that we did here, which is this one. So we basically went from changing the system prompt to like, you know, adding a chain on me and something like that. It looks like I'm dropping a new album, by the way. You know, it's like adding these like grills and various stuff, which is, it's cute. But I think this is really much like super fun for me because it's so random, right? You can upload any image and it's going to choose an object and do some really cool stuff with it. And I think this is kind of the surrealism that I like to do that. What's the prompt to make it do these effects, by the way? Bro, this is like secret, bro. This is my secret sauce right now. Not really. I'll show you how I did this, by the way. This is something that I'm trying to do, and I'm trying to teach people how to prompt better. And so in order for you to do this, I'll show you a little bit of these steps. If you guys want me to break it down, let me know right now if you want to see that, or if you want to see some more Kimi K2 coding. This is really your live stream right now because I'm here to serve you. I'll probably have like 10 more minutes or so before I head off the stream because I need to sleep, and I got to be up at 6 at the beach to go hit the paddling, if you know what I mean. So let's just go ahead and let me know what you want to see. So I have a speed bug with it, previewing the images. Okay. Yeah, I do have. Is there a subscription plan for this like Claude Pro? So do we get the 5-hour cycle like we did to check GLM? They started subscription also. No. Well, Groq with a Q allows you to do 1,000 requests per minute and 100,000 requests. No, 500,000. Let me just go ahead and double check that because I know that they had the model card up. And I think they had some information about it, but I just want to be a little more clear about that. So if we go to the actual Kimi Groq K2 thing, let me go ahead and get rid of this thing here. So yeah, so in here they say, what's the limits? Developer console, immediate access. So let me go ahead and click through here as well. So let me just kind of get rid of this. So you're asking about this thing. Let me go developer console, and I don't see, like, I'm in the console here and I should have some information if I hover over it. View code, the documentation, dashboard docs, maybe. Kimi. Rate limits. Okay. Okay. So here we are. Kimi. Okay. So we can send tokens per day is 300,000 tokens per day. I feel like I've sent more than that. I don't know. I'm still cooking with it. Tokens per minute, tokens per day. 300K. Okay. So I've sent over a whole bunch, but I've not received. So like I've only received like 20K worth of tokens. I think that's the other thing. It's like when you're coding with these models, you're only doing like, you're sending more than you're actually receiving, if you know what I mean, as far as like writing code. Yeah. So yeah, this is really interesting. Okay. So let's go back here. And so I'll show you a little bit of how this prompt started and kind of where I got the inspiration from. So this all started with, when I went to Matt Wolf's YouTube channel. He actually had a whole show that was just like a video just talking about 50 insane ways. And so one of this prompting here was talking about the style of like make the ramen bowl look like a 2D whimsical hand-drawn inspiration and keep everything else exactly the same. So this is the image he gave it, and this is what came out. So the only problem with this, as you know, is that the users aren't going to want to give you the exact details of what they want animated. And so I thought it'd be really fun to make an app that would kind of do that for us. And so what you can do is like, basically do something like this. I went into Claude Opus. And so Opus is really good at taking prompts and things. And I try to basically do something similar, right? I gave it some instructions, and this is what I got from the model. Little squiggly lines. It's like, this is not what I want, right? I want this type of image. And so I said, help me make a better prompt for this, because when I give this prompt, I get this result, right? And so this is like the thing that I did, exactly did, right? This resulted in just squiggly lines. In the example, the lady eating ramen, I just wanted to choose random things that are in the actual image to have it generate. So I basically told it exactly what I wanted, right? So your goal is to give me a better system prompt. And so I always turn on extended thinking because the intelligence is a lot higher for the Claude models when they do this. And so part of the instructions were to give it to me in Markdown. And so this is the Markdown instructions they gave me. So then I ran the prompt, and then what happened is that it chose some random thing in here, and which is this. And you're like, well, and maybe some of this too, right? So like you have some of it, but it doesn't look so exciting. It doesn't look so whimsical. It doesn't evoke any feelings from me. So like that, I can't have that as an app if it generates something really bad like that. Or not that it's bad, but I feel like my bar has to be wow. So you want people to be shocked so that they can like be excited and then share that with their friends and be really motivated, but like, hey, you have to put your images too. So the curiosity gap is really high here whenever you have like a really good image. So then I gave it some more instructions here. And then from there, what I told it to do is it came up with the new sets of instructions. And these are the instructions that I popped into Google AI Studio. And I said, okay, let's just start doing some iterations. So I have my friend, he has a photo underneath some umbrellas here. And so from there, I popped in the system prompt. And then this is exactly what it came out with. It actually drew the umbrellas and drew these really cool things. And then what's really nice about Google AI Studio is that it shows you its thinking. It says, absolutely, let's focus on the colorful umbrellas overhead. They're prominent and offer great potential whimsical, exaggerated anime transformation. This will keep the person and the rest of the market photorealistic, but those umbrellas are about to get a magical anime metaphor. So if we wanted to, in our code, what we can use is the AI SDK. So the AI SDK will help us output some of the reasoning stuff, and we can stream that across or do something interesting while we're waiting, right? But as of now, what our app currently does is it schedules a background task, and then it just comes back to the UI when it's ready and presented. So there's a lot of different things that we can do here, but the most important thing is just getting this image returned to the user in this exact fashion. And because the Nano Banana image generation is so fast compared to when I was using the GPT image model with high fidelity, like it's just too good. It's too good. Like this is the best experience you could ever want. And I think this is the time that we're going to be doing this. So if you want to check this out, I'm going to be live streaming every single day. So tomorrow when I wake up in the morning, after I go paddling, come back, get my food and everything, I'm going to start another live stream. I'm going to basically continue making this app. I'm going to add authentication with Clerk. We already have Convex for the database. I'm going to add Polar for payments as well. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And I want to make my first dollars online using this type of app, right? So I already have an app called Ray Transcribes. This is my next app. I want to launch this because this image model's here. You have to provide a good service to people so they can use it. And I think this is a fire idea. Like I love just transforming images. And people like this photorealism. And I think it's very viral, has a lot of viral potential to the app. And as of right now, the current design trend, it needs some work, right? So you're going to see me kind of work through a lot of this stuff. Doom says more Kimi K2. Yes. Okay. Prompt teaching tomorrow stream or do a video about it. Yep, for sure. Sorry, just joined. What are your thoughts on Kimi K2? Okay. Got you. Can you please add? Okay. So thoughts on Kimi K2. Let's just kind of go over that before I kind of wrap up the stream here. So let me get rid of this type of thing. Sorry. Okay, cool. So thoughts on Kimi K2. Thank you for bearing with me, by the way. And so what's going on now is I think that Kimi K2 low key can be a Claude Code killer, and it's not what you think, right? It's a Claude Code killer because of the price and the speed. And I think you can do a lot of throwaway ideas. Like we can do 10 iterations before we finish one opus full on requests, right? And I think to me, that's where the magic is. The two is like, as a designer, I'm really interested on pulling more threads here, like on design, giving it more design oriented tasks, maybe containing it. I want to get access to the model to see if we can actually do images with it. So that'd be really interesting, giving it some reference images. Because we're using Groq for the provider, that's kind of where our limitation is, because Groq doesn't allow the images or the web. I'm not even sure if that even supports it, to be honest, but this is just kind of where we're at right now. So to use it right now, I'm using Klein. So Klein is running in agentic mode with planning and so forth inside of Cursor, and we're hooking up to the Groq endpoint. And so let me just kind of show you a little bit of what the architecture diagram kind of looks like for this type of thing and how you can get some of that set up. So there's a couple of ways that we did to set it up. Initially, if you want to connect to the Moonshot API, that's currently hosted in a China region. And if you're currently in North America, it's going to be really slow because it's really slow for me right now. It just could be an initial type of thing inside of Claude Code or some other type of thing. So that's kind of what you're doing there. If you're going to be running it in North America, there are several providers like Fireworks. There's also Together AI. There's Groq Code, Groq with a Q. You can get an API key, and then that's kind of where you can hook it up. And so the way that we hooked it up today was using Claude Code for Moonshot. And so in order for you to do that, you just grab an API key from here, platform.moonshot.ai. And then you go, you can even get one from OpenRouter as well if you wanted to go ahead and do that. And then in Claude Code, what you can do is we basically were able to make a function. So you can do the .zshrc file if you're running a Mac, and then you pop into your ZSH session. And so you want to put this command there, and then Kimi is going to be a function that you call. And what you end up doing is set the base URL to this anthropic.moonshot.ai/anthropic. And then your API key is going to be referenced from up here. So you'll put your actual real API key up here that you get from Moonshot. And then you just run Kimi, and all of a sudden you have your thing loaded. As I understand, Groq with a Q doesn't have that harness set up, but I could be wrong. This could have changed, but I haven't tried that yet. And so is Groq down? I don't know. I will have to check that out. So that's that there. I think we covered some of those bases. Yeah, so Groq is based in, the API is based in North America. Their base URL is this, but you don't have to worry about that if you're basically using it inside of what we're doing. So what we're basically set it up with was Klein. So Klein, if you go to the little gear, you can select Groq as API provider, put your API key here, and make sure you select Moonshot Kimi K2 instruct 0905. That's the model that you want to use. And then from there, you can see it doesn't support images or web browser use, but does support prompt caching. And in our previous stuff, we barely even spent $1.50. So I would say that, like, you know, so far, it's really good at the tool calling stuff. I'm super impressed. We touched for our ShadCN design system. We touched all of those files, like the buttons, the cards, and everything. It went through, it understood like what our design system was for the root CSS file. It wrote them in an incredible speed. And you saw how big those tasks were. And we filled up that token context window, you know, even up to the 50% mark, had to write some documentation. It still kept that into its memory bank and continued forth. So as of now, the first impressions for Kimi K2 is super duper amazing. When I compare that to like Groq Code Fast, so that's Groq with a K, Groq Code Fast is fast, but it's not as fast as this, right? With Groq with a Q. And the code output, it doesn't seem to stay on task as much as this guy does, right? I had to spend a lot more time in Opus planning and feeding in these little pieces of the plan to Groq Code Fast or GPT-5 to behave as the way it does. But with this speed, Kimi K2 Moonshot, it does feel like a Sonnet version for me. You know, I could almost replace Sonnet with this and just let it cook with Groq. And you're cool. Like, you're going to spend way less money. You know, maybe you'll spend like $50 a month, maybe less than that. This is exciting. This is very exciting time because finally, I think there's been a lot of people who have not had access to this level of intelligence with Claude Code. They get rate limited and all this crazy stuff. And now you're going to actually get that access that you've been wanting to inside of this app. So that's what I'm talking about. So where can I get the function to replace Claude API key to Kimi? So the function is that you would just want to write it. So I think you would just, if you want, you could just go back. So this live stream, by the way, is going to have timestamp markers. So you're going to be able to go back to this live stream and select the different parts of the thing. So if you want to just pause the stream and go back on a Mac, you can take a screenshot. And when you take a screenshot, you can actually select the text in the screenshot and copy that back out. So that's probably the easiest way. If you're a Discord member, I dropped a link to my little eraser board so you can actually see the whiteboard and get that going. Because it's just easier to copy the code from the board there. If I put this code into like a text file, it's going to just redo all this really weird stuff. So that's kind of the best way to do that. Mickey said that the other day that Groq Code Fast is more like Sonnet 3.7, and he's actually true to some extent. It just keeps going. Yeah, it's very like aggressive about wanting to, you know, write software and like fix things, and sometimes it goes off the rails and it's not really useful. I try to rein it in because I'm really kind of try to keep my code and architecture tight. You know, this type of code that I just wrote, I'm just gonna probably throw it away and start from scratch. But I really enjoyed the experience of coding with it, by the way. So that was really interesting. All right, cool. So we've covered a lot of stuff through this stream. I'm gonna do some more stuff tomorrow. Kind of do probably some more deep like coding with the Nano Banana thing. Try to make this app. I'm gonna be using this model. I'm going to be using anything I possibly can get my hands on to use this. I'm going to try to also figure out the Claude Code configuration because that'd be really fun to get that speed inside of Claude Code. And if we are, insane. But already Klein is already really good. I don't think I need anything else if Klein is this good, bro. Like, I don't know. What are you going to use in the chat? Just drop that your comments below. I'm really curious to see what you're going to use. So yeah, if you want to go ahead and join the Discord, I'll give you the link here. So https://rfer.me/discord. Yeah, yes. Okay. So yeah, just use this link there. And basically the price is basically $14.99 until we get our first, our next 200 members. And so we're almost there. We have like probably like less than 50 members left, or less than 40 members. If I remember, there's a bunch of people who just joined. And so, yeah, I'll be streaming every single day, and I'll be basically trying to build my little micro apps to make some money. And whatever the idea is today, this is kind of what I'm rolling with. I really like this idea of this surrealism with taking some things in your everyday life and kind of adding this really cool anime flair to it, and, you know, making it shareable so people want to share it with their friends. My tech stack here is Convex. I'm going to add Clerk to this for the authentication. I'm going to add Polar so you watch me do this live, and then we're going to, you know, start charging some money and start to play around with this. So this is a really great excuse to use these language models, to use my new keyboard here, and then yeah, to get us rolling. So my name is Ray Fernando. I used to be an engineer at Apple. I used to work there for 12 years, and now I'm basically coding with AI live, doing these live streams and connecting with you. And usually my lives tend to be earlier in the morning, but this is an exceptional one because of this new model, and I wanted to give it a first look. And I really appreciate everyone who's been able to join on the streams. And I'll see y'all tomorrow morning. Peace out, y'all.